Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
I did not care for the mic'd up stuff.
Evan's on a, he doesn't like. What didn't you care for? To be clear, this is NFL film stuff.
Yeah. I just,
Not us.
Not us.
I kind of speak Christian Barmore.
That makes Evan 101.
You speak Barmore.
I think it's a good discussion.
Yeah.
It's probably bigger than this show, but
Nothing's bigger than this show, Paul. Come on. That's a great point.
hey, thanks, Fred.
You guys, I know you're not going to agree with me, but I just got to address some nonsense here.
So far, the only thing we agree with is that we weren't going to agree with you.
I'm just
So I think you and Bart should have guests, and you should bring in Taylor once in a while.
we'd be happy to.
No.
Why not?
There can be only
have
one.
Him call in.
Have them all work for the organization. Seems like they do anyway.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Presented by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is Thursday here at Gillette Stadium, and we got a big crew here. No Deuce, but we've added Alex, and Chris Cassidy was in the neighborhood, so he figured he'd stop by.
I'm always around, Fred.
Nice. Nice of you to stop by.
Thanks for
you
having
probably
me.
know Chris, or maybe you don't, from the Madden Sim every week. He's the one that predicts the Patriots will lose. So, thanks for that.
Fair enough.
Thanks for that.
Hey, look at where it got us, Fred.
Yeah.
Look at where it
Got us all the way there.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
And, of course, it's Paul, and it's... What's your name again?
Evan.
Evan.
Well, that was disrespectful.
Alex.
Hot start.
Listen,
That was almost as disrespectful as you dissing the
I'm
Olympics.
getting to be like my grandmother,
Yeah.
like where
I don't take it.
Confuse you with all your
I
siblings.
have to name everybody's name
In the
in the
family
family
lineage.
before I get to the right one.
I was not offended.
Yeah.
I understand.
I was offended for you.
Thanks, but it happens. At least he didn't call me Eric.
Last night I was like Tucker, Connor, Nikki. I mean, so I'm naming my son, the dog, and then I got to my wife's name. So yeah, it's getting bad. Anyway, all right, we're here and we're talking Patriots for the next 2 hours and probably anything else that we want to talk about. Chris, did you come with anything? Since
Nothing
you're the
crazy.
new guy.
I mean, just it's been a little crazy couple weeks. It's kind of post Super Bowl.
That was your first Super Bowl, Alex. That
was.
was your first Super Bowl.
Sure
What was
was,
your
yeah.
and really kind of Evan too, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. What was your take?
Kind of crazy. Just overall crazy week. It was a fun week. Tough to see the team go down the way they did. Obviously, you make it all the way there, you want to come out on top. That's everybody's mindset when they go to the Super Bowl. But the experience was just amazing. So,
What was anything that I didn't think it was going to be like that?
in what sense?
You tell me.
Oh,
All the things that were going on, or the setup, or
I would say, I'm not quite where your question was going, but my favorite part was just being at Stanford for practices and stuff.
Yeah.
Like taking over the Stanford facility, that was just so cool to me.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy that a massive school like that, ACC school, opens up the doors and just gives you the entire facility, from the weight room to the field to locker room to the baths and all that stuff. Just kind of crazy that a team would do that for
No,
you.
wait till you see World Cup.
I know.
Talk about giving up your stadium
coming
to
up
somebody
quick.
else.
That's coming up quick.
Yeah.
Don't get married to your work area.
Yeah. So you Stanford was a nice setting.
Yeah, I think that was for me. I think that was one of the cooler parts of it. I spent most of my days there with practice with the team and stuff like that. But I unfortunately wasn't able to get over to you guys at Radio Row, which I wish I was able to. But
thrived.
I would have thrived. Would have been my element. But that's okay.
It was your element. Absolutely.
But no,
And I'm bummed I didn't get to Stanford. That's
Me too.
one,
That's my
one
only
minor
regret
little
of the week.
Yeah.
Only regret of the week.
Because
We should have switched places one day.
it was really cool. Evan, whenever you need it,
Done
man.
that.
Whenever you need it.
could've
I know you're always yapping
Madden
over
Sim
there.
live
but
from Radio Row.
Could have done your TikTok.
we tried to pitch it.
Yeah,
We tried.
I went over
Really?
on
Really?
Saturday when they had the team picture to Stanford, and it was really nice.
Beautiful. The facility is just amazing. I had time to walk around and, you see everything that they've put into their athletic facilities. Just built a brand new softball facility for opening day,
Yeah.
and then we were Patriots are practicing for that opening day game. Like, you gonna go to the game? I was like, we're working, but
I kind of wanted to like hit some tennis balls on the courts that John McEnroe played on.
Yeah.
okay,
You know.
okay.
That
You're
would've been
gonna
cool.
have to teach me some more about tennis, Fred. I don't know.
Well, it's got a racket and a ball. I mean, what don't you know about it?
Sometimes
I don't know a
clay,
lot about the
sometimes
people,
grass.
Fred. I
The
don't know.
people. Oh,
The people. I know Roger Federer, Rafa Nadal, and all those guys.
Oh, all right. Then
Serena,
then you're-
Venus.
Then you're
You're
good
off to a
then.
good start.
yeah.
You're good.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, what else do you need to know?
John McEnroe probably was done playing 20 years
Little before
you
your
were
time.
born.
Fair enough.
Everybody was done playing 20 years before Chris was born.
Wow.
I mean,
You guys think I'm a lot younger than I am.
no, we don't. We think
How old-
you're as young
You're
as
like
you
24.
are.
24.
That's so
You're
young.
younger
25
than
in
Drake.
May.
Drake May.
What?
You're younger than Drake May.
No, I'm a year older, I think. I
He's
think I'm a year
23, going on 24.
older. Yeah, I'm a year
He's
older.
24.
I'm 24.
So you're older.
I'm gonna be 25.
you're
Yeah.
older.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
he's
25
older.
in May.
Okay.
But I don't. Were you
Math.
born for the first 36?
I was.
Barely though.
We talked about that. I think I
Like,
was like 4 months or 5 months old or something.
If that.
One of my favorite memories.
His first memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're off.
All right. So we talked about the Zach Core officially made defensive coordinator on
Yeah.
Tuesday. Brian Dable now the OC at the Titans.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Talking
was
about him
that's
3 weeks ago.
yeah. That was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Really?
I
Probably.
allowed. Did you ever notice how
We
I
missed a
allowed
lot of
Evan to do
news
that?
at the Super
No, that's
Bowl.
okay.
Well, yeah.
3
weeks ago.
My ex timeline's slow then because
Yeah.
I just got all the tweets
You might
yesterday.
have to switch your filter there and
Yeah.
we can
most
work on-
recent
we
as
can work
opposed to
on that
popular.
later.
Maybe.
So-
But that
Chris can
week
help
we
me.
were so
That's-
busy.
this is-
Like I didn't pay attention to anything happening on Twitter that wasn't Patriots
Yeah.
related.
Yeah.
That is true.
Weird kind of landing spot for him if we want to talk about Brian Dable. Kind of a weird landing spot.
I had a feeling that Buffalo could have been in the cards for him.
yeah, I think he was probably pretty close
you
to
think
getting
like
that
beggars
job.
can't be choosy? Maybe he didn't have a lot of offers.
I would feel like as an OC he probably would have. I would think.
Yeah,
and
there
like,
were a lot of coordinators that changed jobs.
Yeah.
Now
Right.
Buffalo, I can understand if Joe Brady didn't want
oh yeah,
that kind
yeah.
of an offensive coordinator because he's kind of the offensive
He wa-
coordinator.
he
but
was
there's a
in the
lot of
running
other
for
options.
Their
Yeah.
head coach position in Buffalo. I get it from the Tennessee perspective to have him work with Cam Ward as a home run.
Yo,
but
it's a great hire for Tennessee.
I would have thought that Brian Dable would have better offers. That roster is not good.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Joe Brady in Buffalo. I think he's going to be a good coach over there. I feel like they kind of took the easy route going to Joe Brady. But you kind of look at that field of coaches that were available, and do you want to go with a guy who you're comfortable with, or do you want to go with just kind of another guy who's had a name for himself in the NFL, mediocre type seasons, like kind of hard to dip your foot in that water. So
Yeah.
You wonder how much Josh Allen had in the decision. too.
Supposedly he had a lot.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
If,
And I
your
guess,
if your star quarterback wants
Yeah.
this guy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
I guess Joe Brady.
make him comfortable.
I mean, obviously, all the reporting comes out after the fact that he's what a great candidate, but he apparently had a great interview process with the Bills and had a whole plan and was very organized and things that we talk about a lot with Vrabel, where he had a plan for different like arms of the organization, not just X's and O's and stuff like that. So they've had a lot of issues with injuries, their training staff, their medical staff, and he has, I guess, like a whole blueprint of how they're going to revamp that whole thing and be more sports sciencey and more modern with that. So
Okay, good for them.
They feel like they're headed in the right direction.
In other NFL news,
He brought it up. I mean,
You asked.
so the Seahawks are officially for sale.
yes.
Anybody interested?
I wish I was.
Maybe Brady will take a piece
I
of
wish
that
I
team
could
too.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess this is was always coming. This is part of the Paul Allen estate that
Yep.
he was.
They knew that even
Yeah.
before the Super. They're going
it's
to do
been
that.
gradual, I think, right?
Yeah.
Hasn't it been
Yeah.
pretty
But
gradual?
But how lucky did they get to be able to capitalize
know.
on this?
I
Like,
know.
Do you think that
kind
that
of like when the Celtics won and
raised
they
the
were
price
like,
a
all
little?
right. Oh,
Oh,
the
yeah.
fact
to.
that they're recent Super Bowl winners?
I would
Had
assume the
to.
state of the team and the fact that they're going to be a successful team
Yeah.
for a while. I mean, do they have a chance of being
Yeah.
double digits, like 10 billion plus?
They got a
I mean,
good
it's an
situation
NFL
there. They got
franchise.
their own stadium. I don't know what their training facility is like, but I assume it's pretty nice. I mean, Paul Allen had a lot of dough. So that's good. Patrick Mahomes got restructured. They saved a lot of cap money over there.
Meanwhile, we want to cut or restructure every player on the team because we're worried about the cap.
Who's we?
Just the people out there.
The Fonz.
Your people.
I'm getting annoyed,
The
Fred.
Fonz.
Well, so like,
Evan doesn't like the
are
broke
these people like
mentality.
just attacking you? with
So
these-
last night, or actually, this is like kind of Patriots adjacent.
like he gets annoyed.
Oh God, it's so annoying. This is Patriots adjacent, right? So Wyatt Teller with the Browns is not going to go back to Cleveland. He was a free agent already, but he's definitely not going.
This is the guard, right?
He's a guard. He plays right guard.
Good, Fred.
So he doesn't play the position the Patriots need to fill, which is left guard. He plays right guard. So someone asked me, what's your take on Wyatt Teller? So I said, well, he plays right guard. He's been a right guard his entire career. And then I get tweets like, well, Mike Onwenu's cap hit's really high. Like maybe, you move on from Big Mike and you replace him with Wyatt Teller. And I'm just like, why do you care? Like, why do you care what his cap hit is when they have $41 million in cap space? Like it'd be one thing if they were like,
If they're the same player, then
crap.
fine. But I don't know. I just want the better player.
Yeah, whoever's
And
better.
I saw a thing today with the rankings of all the guards in pass protection, and I don't know whose rankings they were, but Mike Onwenu was the second-ranked right guard in terms of pass protection last year. Jared Wilson was well down the list in left guards. He was like 25th or 26th.
he had a good year. I mean, is he an all-pro caliber guard? No.
Why are we worried about what he makes?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why Robert Kraft worries about what he makes. I mean, that's important to the team. But in terms of the cap, you have a really good player who makes a lot of money. That's okay. It's when you have really bad players that make a lot of money that you have to make moves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
People do get too involved in the money part of it, and
And
I
it's
don't-
so easy. I mean,
Yeah.
look what you just started this whole segment off with what Kansas City did.
Yeah.
So you make one minor little tweak in paperwork, and you get $44 million in cap space.
right. Your guy Brian Morey was quick on Twitter to explain to people it's just credit card economics.
Right. And you know what they'll do next year?
They'll just keep
They'll
doing
do
again.
it again.
Right.
Because
Unless
there are no
like they did with
ramifications.
Brady
Unless-
forever.
Here's the
It's even
difference with
easier than
credit
a
cards.
There's interest.
Yeah.
There's not even interest.
This
on
is
it.
0%
That's the difference with
APR
credit
up to
cards. It's not
21
gonna cost
months.
you any more.
Yeah.
Right.
You're just putting it off is all you're doing.
Kick the
Right.
can down the road.
But
Right.
if they were tight against the
It-
cap, then that would be
Because
one
Brian
thing.
still thinks the cap exists.
Oh,
He still believes in
imagine if
Santa
we could
Claus.
manage our credit cards like they manage the cap and
People
just
would
put it
pay.
off.
I've tried.
It's called a
and that's-
balance
well, why do you
transfer.
think I look like
Balance
the way I look?
transfer.
That's the big difference between credit cards and the NFL salary cap.
Yeah.
Evan, one word: interest.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, if we were sitting here today and they only had $10 million in cap space and people wanted to discuss how can they create more cap space, that would be one thing. But with $41 million in cap space, they have the flexibility to do anything that they want. They could sign trade for anyone with that kind of cap space. So they have a roster that was just in the Super Bowl that's also top 10 in cap space going into free agency. They have no money problems. Like
Right.
there's no issues with the cap. And I keep hearing about Diggs and Onwenu and Bradbury and Henry and like all these guys that are getting a little bit older that people are like, well, he's not going to be worth a $25 million cap hit. And it's like, well, if he has another 1,000-yard season, then Stephon Diggs might be worth a $25 million cap hit when the big guys are getting paid 40.
Yeah.
So
And that to me is the only differentiation. Do you think you have a player who's better than that guy?
Right.
And if you do, then I'm all for making a move. I don't care if it's for less money as long as he's a better player.
Yep. Yep.
So if you think you can do better than 85 for 1,000 at 26 million on the cap, which is what Diggs gave you, then do it.
Yep.
If you want to trade for AJ Brown, that's something I'd be interested in at the right price, or sign a free agent wide receiver like I keep talking about Alec Pierce. But that's not going to be cheap. I'm not looking to sign a guy for $2 million and thinking I'm going to get better production.
Yep. Sticking with the NFL news, now the Raiders are kind of interested in trading Maxx Crosby, but the price that they've put out there is exorbitant. They want 2 first-round picks and a player.
Yeah, it's cool to want things.
Right.
You know, I mean, they're basically going off of like the Micah Parsons trade framework,
Yeah.
but he's 3
Older.
years older than
Yeah.
Micah Parsons.
And I don't think he's as good.
He's probably not as good of a pass rusher. He's a better run defender than Micah Parsons. but-
Actually, you know what?
I think they're comparable players.
yeah,
but the age
I take
is-
that back.
the age
I'm
is a
thinking about
difference.
Garrett Miles or whatever.
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
yeah.
Oh,
He
I
was
think
better than both of them.
2 first
Yeah.
names. That's a hard one.
I think Miles Garrett is better than.
Better than all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
That-
thought you were saying that.
No.
He got it.
Yeah.
I
Thanks, Evan.
the Maxx Crosby.
Evans really speaks Fred
he
today.
speaks Fred. Yeah.
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 In a very condescending way.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
No, that wasn't condescending.
You become so proficient so
Keep
quickly.
going. I don't want to derail you. Keep going.
Sended him a little bit.
No,
Just a little bit.
It's because you
Spider.
didn't remember my
Just a
name
little
off
bit,
the top
Spider.
of the show. You know,
Yeah. I'll shoot you in the foot.
it's
What can I say? I'm a good shot.
Keep
yeah,
going.
no, 2 firsts in a player is crazy for Maxx Crosby. I would say at this age and just the Raiders. I don't really know what.
So if you're the Raiders, which one do you come off? Do you settle for one and a player, or do you settle for just two
I
firsts?
personally would take the 2 firsts, but I think they might settle for 1 in the player, maybe plus like a 3rd or a 4th
I was going to say,
round
what about
pick.
a 1 and a lower pick
Yeah.
plus a player?
Because I think teams are really caught up in this. Well, if we're going to trade Maxx Crosby now, we don't have a left defensive end. So who's going to play the left defensive end spot? So let's get a left defensive end in the trade. And now, we kind of mitigate some of the damage by doing that. But the Raiders, I will say, for positive on the Raiders, because that trade scenario Schefter threw out is crazy. I have been watching some of the Indiana wide receivers over the last 24 hours. Mendoza is going to be really, really good. That guy's got it. So they're lucky there. They lucked into a quarterback, I think, but they've got a long way to go. So I would rather take the picks.
Yeah, I like Mendoza. I like his comportment too.
Yeah,
too.
he stands in there. He gets hit in the pocket and makes throws. Under pressure.
I think he's
really good.
He'll be quick to lead as well.
For sure.
Coming off our
Good at
Tuesday conversation. What was I going to say? Something about Crosby and somebody on a caller on one of Paul's shows made a point that the hosts on Paul's shows agreed with, that if you're the Patriots or if you're trading with the Patriots, you might be looking more to their 27 draft pick because 26 might be is going to be lower.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. And if you believe, and I don't really like doing this, but the way people are talking about the 2027 draft is like there's going to be 10 Hall of Famers in that draft. So if you believe that, this are things that front offices look at and they project ahead to what the class is going to look like next year. Maybe you do feel that way. The Raiders probably aren't thinking quarterback because they're probably going to take Mendoza, but Jeremiah Smith's going to be in the 2027 draft. So do you try to load up on picks in 2027 so that you can get Mendoza a number 1 wide receiver, in the 27 draft, something like that? I could see that. I think that those picks are going to be tough to part with for a lot of teams. I don't know if, especially teams that project themselves, like you're kind of saying, to maybe be top 20 in the draft. I don't know. They might have a little bit more value because of how.
But if you can convince the Raiders, say, listen, we'll give you our 27 first and a player instead of 2 first. Maybe you can convince them. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to project a year out with drafts, and people do this all the time. Look at the quarterback class next year. Like that's the year.
Is that just relative to this year's class, or is it actually
a little
be
bit
that
of
good?
both. I mean, Jeremiah Smith, the Ohio State wide receiver, is like a generational wide receiver prospect, and he's
Didn't
coming.
he kind of tail off this season?
No, that's
No, it's
Ryan
Ryan
Williams.
Williams.
with
Oh, that's
Alabama.
the young kid.
Alabama kid.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But there's like 3, maybe 4 receivers that would probably be top 10 picks in most drafts, and Jeremiah Smith might be the number 1 overall pick in 27. So that's a guy that is going to have like a sweepstakes to be able to get him. So especially if you're a team like the Raiders that thinks that you already have the young quarterback in place. So,
Yeah, chances are the Patriots aren't going to be that bad where you're going
I
to
hope
have a
not.
pick that can get you that guy.
No, but if you get that pick and you
bundle it.
You have more ammunition.
Yeah.
And, obviously you're right, Fred, about the Patriots pick because, it almost has to be a higher pick than this. I
Right.
mean,
Unless
unless
you-
they win
What
the
if we
Super
win the
Bowl,
Super Bowl,
Right,
guys?
right.
that's the only way it could be,
The question
even
is how
worse.
much higher.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
My thought with all of it is, I believe Hendrickson's a free agent this year, right?
Yep.
Hendrickson's free. So
Yes.
how much are you willing to go in on Maxx Crosby if Hendrickson is available? Similar age range. If Raiders are going to be complicated with Maxx Crosby,
Yeah.
Not that similar.
So Hendrickson is a little older, right?
Is he a little older?
It's like
Yeah.
3 years old.
But
Oh,
you don't
okay,
have to
okay.
give up
I
an
thought there's- I
asset.
thought
You just
they're
have to
closer.
pay him. You know?
It's
That
a
is true.
it's a really good edge market, both in free agency and in the draft. And then if you assume Maxx Crosby's going to get moved, then trade also. And so there's a surplus of edges right now throughout the entire NFL. So that kind of conversation is going to come up of, do we want to give up capital to acquire Maxx Crosby, or do we feel like we could sign Trey Hendrickson, we could sign Bowie Mafi, we could sign player X, draft player Y at 31 that might not be quite what Maxx Crosby is, but better bang for the buck and not giving up the
You
draft
keep
capital.
your picks. You get that opportunity to continue to add to your young core of talent.
Yeah.
It's a 2-year difference, not 3, Chris. I was
Okay.
1 year off. He'll be 31 during the season.
Okay.
So you plug him in maybe for a short-term big money deal. Maybe you give him 2 or 3 year deal
Right.
for a lot of money, but you think you're probably going to get good production out of him. Now he has been banged up a little bit the last couple of years. So
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. I could be talked into that as
Okay.
a consolation prize.
Little schedule talk
Schedule talk.
in terms of international games. They announced Mexico City. That who would be the home team? I forget.
San Francisco
And they're not on our schedule. So
San
the
Francisco's
possible
two
international
international
games for the
shrinking.
Patriots is shrinking. Munich is still on the table.
We got all Europe now, just London, Madrid, and Munich.
Right.
So there's 3 London games.
Yep.
So we still have 5 chances.
Yep.
If you think about it. The Jaguars obviously will host a London game, and they are on the Patriots schedule.
Yep.
So that
we go to Jacksonville.
yeah, so that could be a possibility. But there's still 5 games, but now they're all in Europe. No Brazil. No,
Right.
And we also just played Jacksonville in London
We did.
2 years
True.
ago, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd put odds on Munich, but I don't have any info,
Munich.
just so you know.
There was rumors, and this is totally rumor, conjecture, that the Giants might be the home team in Munich, and they're not on.
And
the
they're not
table.
on our schedule.
Yeah.
Who's the home
Okay.
team in
So-
Australia?
The Rams. It's Rams 49ers in
What about Paris?
Australia.
Is that next year?
Paris is New Orleans, I want to say.
Yeah,
With
because
the
we were talking about the French.
connection.
Yeah,
Go.
All the cities I want
Dallas
to go
is in Rio.
to. Okay.
The Cowboys are
What about
hosting
Madrid?
in Rio. Madrid's up in the air. We don't know yet. Heard Chiefs, heard Dolphins. Chiefs are on the schedule, but obviously Miami is
Dolphins,
on the
obviously.
schedule. But we haven't
So
heard
what do we have?
anything.
Five chances still.
5 chances. 3 of them are London. So
And then we also play Detroit. So there's like speculation that Thanksgiving could be on the table again.
Yep.
See what I did there? Thanksgiving.
We got to
table?
start thinking about what we're going to do for schedule release.
Oh,
You do?
we've
Yeah.
had those
I
meetings.
mean, last year we had Portnoy, and he was right about everything he said. He was.
He was
He
wrong.
just said that he just picked
He
the
was wrong
Patriots
about
every
3
week.
games, though. I
Well,
assume.
he's pretty good. I think he
I
was
assume
pretty.
he missed 3 games.
Yeah, at least 3.
He
Who
was
would have
pretty
thought
good.
when we had him
I didn't
just
see it, so I can't tell you for sure. But I assume 3 games he had wrong.
Paul doesn't watch our content.
I
didn't
don't
watch
watch.
schedule
I
release,
don't
Paul?
watch schedule
He's
releases.
never seen Good Jules Hunting.
Did you watch the egg drop video?
I'm
Did that one
utterly,
too?
utterly bored by
He
schedule
doesn't watch
release videos.
anything.
I watch.
If it's not The Bachelorette,
I'll
he's
tell you
not
something.
watching.
He didn't watch
Oh,
Good
you're
Jules
caught up
Hunting.
on The
He didn't
Bachelorette,
watch
though.
Retirement
I watch
House.
something, and I know it. Like some of the luster is lost, but the Super Bowl hype video that we put out
Freebird.
with Freebird by was one of our content
Michael
team,
Rundy.
Michael Rundy. I want to
Yeah,
give him
Run DMC.
credit. Watch that.
Amazing.
That's good content. That's good stuff. I watch stuff, Fred. I just don't have any interest in watching a video of something I already know.
Okay.
Like the schedule release.
No, it's
I just-
entertainment, Paul.
But I don't really find
I
it all
know
that
you
entertaining.
don't find. I know you don't like any of it. Steve in the North Country
Schedule
wants to know
release. Yes,
who's the
that's
big
true.
dude. Holy mackerel, what a melon on him. Get him a bigger chair, Fred.
Valid.
I love
While
that
you're
he's
at it,
sitting
get
next
Paul
to me.
a
I
new
feel so
card.
small
valid.
and petite.
He makes Alex look like a gnome.
Yeah, I
was gonna
love
say
it.
it's partially because I'm next to Alex. I feel like I'm like 2.
I'm 5'5".
Too
I'm not like
fat? Is that what
tiny.
you're
You kind of
saying?
brushed over that get Paul a new car thing. What was that all about?
Well, you guys were talking. You guys were
Sorry,
talking.
on
The guy with the big melon. I appreciate that. I do
When
have
you
a big
walk
head.
around at like the Patriots premiere, do people just assume you're like a
Yes.
young lineman?
They thought he was Will Campbell
I
last
mean,
year.
yeah, last
Oh,
year.
that was
Will's-
so funny.
Yeah, so that was that's one of my
That was
favorite.
the best
one of my
day
favorite
ever.
stories. I think
Say,
here
I will die
so
for
far.
you. Say that.
Do it.
I will fight and die to protect our quarterback.
I need some work, but it's okay.
I don't know. That was probably one of my funnier moments here. Was
you have
being
to tell
the
the
one
story.
holding
You
the
have
eye-
to tell the
I'll
story. It
tell
was
it,
the
I'll tell
day
it, I'll tell it
after
quick.
the draft.
The day after the draft, we were hosting him here for the official visit, and he was just kind of. I was put on to cover him, shoot some iPhone video of him, whatever, show him around a little bit, and we start to make our way out to the main field where we host the press conference. And I started to backpedal, and then there's kids lined up in the fence. Decent
in the
amount of
plaza.
fans, yeah, in the plaza, and they're Will, screaming at the top of their lungs, and I'm like, oh no, like not me, it's not me, but I appreciate it. No, I'm just kidding.
You sure they weren't yelling shill?
No,
Shill?
no, they were definitely saying Will, and the worst part, I guess, if you want to say that, is when he officially came out. You're like, oh, that's not Will. One kid yelled that, and I said, hey, you don't know. I was like, you don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But walking back and all of the media back there looking at me like this kid.
That's funny.
Like,
He'll be crying himself.
You were
to
a-
sleep
Good story.
tonight on his
You were a
couch.
foot,
Like Sputnik.
you were a foot injury away from being Will Campbell.
I definitely was not.
I mean,
I definitely
Now
was
you're
not.
really going.
that's
I
what you
definitely
tell
was
us
not.
that all the time.
I
Yeah.
do, but
Yeah.
that is
20 minutes after
lot.
I met Chris, he told me how his career ended with a foot injury.
Yeah.
You guys don't know where I would have been.
Every guy.
No one
I would have
knows.
played D1 if I didn't hurt this.
I mean, you
The coach
they,
just put me
that.
in, we would have won state.
they had
The
him
coach
block,
didn't
they had him
like
block an
me.
outside zone. Like, what do you expect?
Outside zone.
Like, get the
Took
guy
one
on
hard step left and rolled my ankle.
yeah,
That's it.
Get the guy
That's
on a
game.
double team. Like, what are you doing?
Just
Like,
the
he's-
sprain
he's
is
run
what
gap.
derailed your
Yeah.
career
No.
to the
I
NFL.
broke it.
Power.
I broke
been
my foot
coaching.
twice. Once in the spring, then during practice, broke it again.
What are
senior
they trying
year.
to get you out in space for? Come on.
Oh, what
Like,
could have
get off
been.
the
I
ball.
was just trying to
what
be
could have been.
downhill blocking, Evan. That's it, dude. Just get me
Get
downhill.
vertical. Get downhill. What are we doing?
I got a big
All
ass
right.
head.
All right. 855-PATS-500 is the hotline. Podcast at patriots.com is the email address. You can see where this is going anywhere you want it to go.
Kind of
So,
a free-form Thursday.
yeah. So why don't we just open it up and see what people have to say? And people are hanging up left and right. Danny is in Tampa. What's up, Danny?
How's it going, guys?
Okay.
It's good to hear you guys today. Man, I'm kind of sad that Mike's not on there, but I see his guest replacement scene. It's pretty cool. I got a bone to pick with Evan. Evan, I did like
Good.
the show yesterday. Paul, you're on the. You're being safe today. I'm not gonna pick on you today.
No, thanks,
But,
Danny.
Evan,
Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
What's up, Danny?
Evan. No,
Yeah.
Evan, you had some good stuff. You and Alex had some good stuff yesterday.
We tried.
Speaking of Alex, we found out that he wears pajamas. He revealed that on the radio.
Why did you find that
He
out?
revealed it on the radio. He's,
God, he
yeah.
says too much.
Do you
Go ahead,
not?
Danny.
He says on snow days he likes to sit in his pajamas and watch TV.
Yeah, he's got to talk less.
So
All right. Go ahead, Danny. I'm sorry.
We gotta
You
go
don't
back
need
to
that mental image.
I want to make this really quick. So to your points, Evan, yesterday, and I want to caveat to Paul, too, on this one thing. Yeah, so I did hear this last week, what you guys were just talking about with the Barmore situation, or not Barmore, with the Maxx Crosby. ESPN and Fox Sports with Colin Hurd was saying just last week that they were saying that Patriots should send Barmore and 2 firsts, and I was like, no. I was like, why would I like Barmore? And the reason why they were spinning it, they said that there's been some unrest behind the scenes with Vrabel and Barmore, so people are kind of like pushing that notion, oh, they should ship Barmore out and send 2 firsts. And I said, no, I said, I don't think that's a good idea. I was like, why would you want to give up this year's and next year's first? I mean, Barmore's good. Add to the depth. I said that it's deep in the draft this year with defensive linemen and wide receiver. I was like, we can explore other options. And then the other thing for Evan, I think the Patriots, to win this season, since we're going against a gauntlet, they need to do what the Rams did, 13 personnel, 3 tight ends, 1 running back, and 1 receiver, stress the defense out. Since a lot of defenses across the league are playing nickel and dime, that'll force them. So give you guys a take on that.
Okay, thanks, Danny.
Yeah, I don't know where the bone was, but
Yeah.
anyways, we were talking yesterday about tight end, and I just had brought up the point that, I think a lot of people are with Danny that they want them to be more multiple tight end heavy, even more so than they were this past year. But the big kind of caveat with that is that you got to have tight ends that can block, because if you're just kind of going out there and putting finesse tight ends out there, like, you're not going to really get the response from the defense that you're looking for. So the Rams have, 2 really good blockers at least at tight end, and so they go out there, they run that 3 tight end set, and the defenses have to match it in base because they can run the ball at smaller packages if they don't. And so they match it in base, and now you have matchups that you can hunt with the tight ends against linebackers and things like that. So that's what we were talking about. I'm all for that, but that's completely kind of changing up your entire room.
But even if you have more finesse tight ends, if they're good receivers, don't you create mismatch problems?
I don't think so, because what's happening a lot now is, like, you have to run teams out of nickel, right? So everyone's playing 5 defensive backs at least on the field.
Right.
And if you put tight ends out there, just inherently tight ends are like slower receivers, right? Like, they're just not as dynamic as most wide receivers are. So what happened with the Patriots a lot last year in their 2 tight end sets was that they weren't able to effectively run the ball out of 12 personnel. So everybody was staying in nickel against them when they had 2 tight ends on the field. And so they just kind of figured out they were just better off playing 3 receivers, because Matt Collins can kind of do the things that the tight ends can do in the blocking game. We're not really losing much in the run game with Matt Collins versus Austin Hooper, but we're gaining in the pass game. So it's like you could do it either way. I just think that, if they want to be like a tight end heavy offense, then you have to have at least one really good inline blocker at that position, I would say. And right now, I think they kind of have none.
They have none. They'd be 3 short of being able to do what the Rams do right now.
Yeah.
And the one name that people are talking about a lot, and I'm not necessarily against it, is Kyle Pitts, who I don't love, but he is a productive athletic tight end. But that's not going to give you what what Danny is looking for in terms of that versatility. He's going to be treated like teams treat Matt Collins.
David writes in, he's a PhD. He says, I'm here in Florida getting ready for a Star Trek cruise leaving tomorrow.
Nerd.
What I'm curious about is whether or not the plans for building the team, trades, free agency, draft, have changed since last summer, given the success of this past summer, and if so, how? But I want to talk more about the Star Trek cruise. What's going on?
I'm not shocked that you
Boy,
would want to talk
that
about
is going to be a boat full of nerds, huh?
I don't know anything about Star Trek.
Get outside.
People that like Star Trek over Star Wars is an interesting take.
I don't like that take.
I think
400 a person.
Yeah, really.
It's not that bad.
Where's the cruise go?
How far? How long?
Yeah. But I think the more sciencey people like Star Trek.
It's a Royal Caribbean cruise, Port Carnival, Puerto Plata, San Juan, Coco Cay.
Oh.
And like, what do you have to dress up?
like
Is
a
it
night,
cosplay?
Certainly, right?
I tell you what, this year's sold out, and next year's is the waiting list is happening.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's Shatner's on this cruise.
Oh
and
boy!
Jonathan
It's the
Frakes.
real
It's the
deal.
whole cruise.
It's
The
the
whole
real
cast.
deal. Okay.
All right.
So I'm more interested in your take on the differences
might go on
between
this
Star
next year.
Trek and Star Wars.
Yeah.
We're sending Maddie next year for
so
content.
just it's more science based.
content.
Well,
Yeah.
at the
More-
time,
yeah, Morel
I
seems
think
excited about this.
the more nerdy science people tend to gravitate towards Star Trek than Star Wars.
Interesting.
Okay.
More scientifically accurate.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that either. I mean,
Exactly my thoughts.
warp speed and transporting people from planet to planet, But
They do have actual physicists as guest speakers.
yeah, so that's what I mean. It is more sciencey.
They're not like
Should be paying you
similar, though,
$400.
right? Like, there's no real similarities.
I mean, they happen in space.
No,
well, outside of that,
Star Wars is more mythical
Yeah.
and fantasy.
that's mythical. I thought.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, Fred.
You ever read Joseph Campbell, who's a Columbia PhD, The Power of Myth? He uses a lot of Star Wars analogies in it.
Oh, I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, well, you should learn a little bit,
Oh,
before
alright.
you
Read a book.
mock.
Before I knock.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Don't mock.
Some good zingers.
Anyway, so,
It's on.
but his other question's interesting too. Do you think that the plans for building has changed since last summer? I don't think so.
I don't think we're going to know the answer to
Good
that
players.
until they start.
Get good players.
But I don't know. But it might have changed. We're not going to really know until we see.
Well, what do you
what
think?
kind of moves
I
they
mean, we
do.
have a show to do. So what do you think?
My guess is that it hasn't changed. They want to continue to build this roster, as Mike says, with the foundation. They feel like they have the foundation in place.
Do you
and
feel
continue
like-
to add on
Yeah.
to that?
Do you feel like they'd be more willing now to make like some swings for win now guys than maybe they
That-
would have been?
There
last
you go,
Yeah.
Alex.
So
That's what
it-
we're trying to get.
And if they do, then
Thank
that-
you for
You're welcome,
thinking.
Fred.
But
You're
I-
welcome.
I gave you asked me what I thought. I said I
But
don't
she
think
said
it's changed.
something better.
I don't think that will happen. That would be a change.
But
You asked if I thought they would
But
change.
she proposed how a change might be.
Correct.
Maybe now they're thinking more win now as opposed to like we're
I think
building.
I'm with-
That's the question.
I'm with
Good.
Alex.
That's the
I think
question that she
Foundation's
asked.
built
You
now.
had a good one.
because I feel like that
You're missing the point as usual.
like last offseason, they were in the business of like, let's just get NFL players on this team, right?
Right.
Like, let's sign guys that can
Build the foundation
that are
and
quality NFL players that can be starters in this league, that are proven starters in this league. Where now I feel like it's like you can have a little fun. Like
Yeah.
we can start going shopping
I
for
think
the
they can. I don't think they will.
for the designer clothes.
Correa
and-
marble.
Exactly, whatever that is. Yeah.
it's
But she
marble.
nailed it, you know. Like,
What do you think would hold them
From
back,
Italy.
Paul? Like what?
No, I think that they want to build the roster. They want. I don't think they feel like they're there yet.
Yeah.
I don't think that they are. To steal an Andy Hart phrase, they went to the Super Bowl. They're not a Super Bowl team yet.
Fair.
That's what I think Mike Vrabel and Elliot Wolf and
Wrap your
Ryan
head around
Cowden
that
are
one.
thinking right now.
Yeah.
We still have a ways to go if we want to be, no questions asked, Super Bowl contender every year.
that's
And
probably the smart way to look at it.
I think
Yeah.
that they'll probably stick to that. I completely, the question is a really good question. If they go out and trade for Maxx Crosby, then I would say the answer to the question is yes, it's changed. I think Evan and Alex are correct. They might look at it as we are better positioned now to make a splashy kind of a move than we would have thought.
So Crosby a bigger splash than what Diggs was?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's just less
Diggs is
uncertainty.
kind of a
There was so
reclamation
much.
project
There was
coming off
so
an
much
ACL.
uncertainty around Diggs when we signed him.
For cheap money.
Yeah.
I just look at the guys like Morgan Moses, Garrett Bradbury, Robert Spillane,
Right.
Even Carlton Davis to an extent. Good signings, all of them.
Yeah.
But those were
And I'll do it again.
But those were guys that they signed because they literally did not have starters
Yeah.
at those positions
Yeah.
going into the offseason. They have most of that. Like if I put up their 22 guys on both sides of the ball, they're probably like at like 20 or 21 where you're like, yeah, you have starters at all these spots.
I agree.
So now you're just kind of adding to that. But to Paul's point, if they still feel like they're like one good draft haul away from being in that true Super Bowl contender status, then trading all your picks is not going to get you there.
So to go back here, let's just do all the guys that Evan just mentioned. The Moses, Carlton Davis. How many more years do you think you're going to have those guys? Hunter
Yeah.
Henry. I mean, you might have them all on your roster in 26. My guess is you have a better chance to have none of them on your roster in 27 than having all of them.
Right.
So that's why I think that they'll probably stick to the plan, continue to try to draft well and evaluate and develop. I think they did a really good job of that last year. But you have to continue to build both ways. Like that's the underrated part of all of this was every guy that Evan mentioned that gave them an NFL starter wasn't just an NFL starter. They were all good players for them last year.
Right.
And they all worked. You need to probably start thinking about Garrett Bradbury. Okay, so is Jared Wilson that good? Okay, then we're good there. But what about who's replacing Carlton Davis?
Yep.
Who's going to eventually replace Harold Landry?
Yep.
Right.
Isn't
Yeah.
the hope that because I think Bill was really good at this for a long time until he wasn't, which was like
Exactly.
drafting guys if they all suddenly draft a corner in like the second or third round, I think everybody's going to be like a corner. But it's like, well, in
They're
2
looking.
years, in 27, that player might be starting.
It's Nate Solder.
Right.
For Matt
Now,
White,
I don't think they're there yet
time.
in the first round pick. I think the first round pick needs to be somebody who's going to play right away.
Plug and play.
But
Hopefully.
after that, tight end, corner, linebacker, like we're starting to talk about replacing the guys that right tackle that are currently on the team that are getting older.
Richard in Louisiana writes in reference to Evan's point of putting a veteran guard next to Will Campbell, can that be done by not bringing someone else in and by putting Onwenu on the left side and putting Jared Wilson on the right? Now you have two young players next to vets on both sides.
They tried putting Onwenu at left guard in 21, I want to say, and he got benched for Ted Karras. Did not go well.
He's not one of those guys that can switch sides.
No, usually with left guard, you want him to be a little bit better pass protector and a little bit more athletic on that side. Like Joe Tooney is literally the perfect left guard. Like that guy is exactly what you want at that position. So Onwenu's his position's right guard, and I think that he's going to stick there.
Fred, when did it all start going wrong?
When they franchised Joe Tooney.
They have a lot. Like Joe Tooney played.
My favorite Fredism.
Joe Tooney played left tackle in college.
Yeah.
And then moved inside in the NFL.
He was like Mankins. Yep.
Athletic, can pass block,
Yep.
Can move laterally, that type of thing.
John in Carlsbad says, in my opinion, Mike is still firmly on the hot seat. It's been rough ever since Deuce joined the show. I really thought the curse might have been broken, but after losing the Super Bowl, it's clear that Mike Deuceau remains the common denominator. Let's keep Chris on the show and send Mike off to cover minor league hockey or something. Maybe then we can finally win a Super Bowl next year without him dragging us down. Wow.
I would agree.
Yeah. Wow.
No lies told.
Eric in New Jersey on the hotline. What's up, Eric?
Hey, how we doing, guys and girls? I had a question. Again, my biggest concern going into this next year is just the identity of the offense. I kind of, with Drake, wanted the ability to throw the ball down. I know we don't kind of have that inline blocking, but looking back at that Panthers, 2015, where they had that, that power run game, and then they were able to get those deep throws over, those deep crosses, where Drake's wheelhouse is. What are your takes on just the identity of this offense, given the personnel that we have and the potential that's out there? I believe I'm a big proponent of, if he hits the market, Alex Pierce is dropping it. The time to develop is, I think we're kind of past that. I mean, we haven't had that ability in quite some long time. But just kind of see what you guys take, because what's the identity of this offense going to be moving into next year. I'll take it off the line. Thanks, guys.
Okay. I got to find that way. All right.
That's a tough question to answer. I think, his deep ball ability and his mobility are his two best traits, I would say. And so typically you would think of that as, if you're going to be an under center offense, then you're probably moving the pocket a lot. That would be ideal. But then, we get into the conversation of, running the run game changes that takes, the tight ends that we were talking about earlier in terms of the inline blocking. They could kind of do both. I think, if they wanted to be more gun heavy and spread the field more and bombs away, then they could probably do that as well. But if you do that, now you really need to upgrade the receivers. You have to have, Bengals level type of receiver talent to be that gun heavy and that centric in terms of the outside passing game. So it depends on, which way they want to go. Historically, Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels have featured under center pretty heavily in their offenses. The Patriots were top 10 in under center 8 last year. So I would assume that they're going to probably stick to that sort of thing. But they need some upgrades in the blocking department for sure to get there.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them sort of shorten up the passing game a little. I think they need to be prepared for teams to be better prepared for the deep ball. And I think we saw that as the season wore on and certainly in the playoffs. So I think they're going to need to have a plan B. And I wouldn't be surprised if Josh and Drake spend a lot of this offseason saying, okay, this is, you got to start getting these underneath quick, the ones that Fred always talks about, maybe Efton Chisholm, maybe you're a guy. A lot of quick, easy throws to move the chains. The stuff that I don't think Drake necessarily loves, but I think he needs to get a little bit more accustomed to, because I don't think you're going to go bombs away again next year.
Not based off the way the defenses played them in the playoffs. I mean, they saw more too high and more cloud than any team in the league in the place, especially in the postseason. And teams just playing those two safeties over the top and playing over the top of Booty and making sure he can't throw the deep ball. You got to get quicker on the inside. You got to get guys.
You got to get on top of Booty.
And everybody,
exactly.
And everybody talked about, well, that and you were playing better teams. Well, you're going to be playing better teams next year, like as a rule in the regular season. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult, I think, to just
it changes
throw
in the
it
playoffs too, like because teams are really game planning you. Versus in the regular season, you kind of are running your stuff, you're running your system a lot of the time because you don't want to get too complicated with it. Maybe you have some special game plan wrinkles on third down or something like that. Once you get into the playoffs, it's a whole different ball game. Now it's like we are game planning this offense, and especially the Super Bowl when you have 2 weeks to do it.
And maybe Henderson is somewhere involved more in the passing game, more as a direct, as opposed to just kind of, an outlet, maybe someone that they're looking to exploit matchups with.
Nick in the Poconos writes in, looks like I ruffled some feathers with my email last week and took some shots, which were fun to hear, but I guess I have to respond. The comments made about me are correct. I'm probably as dumb as a box of whatever country thing Eldred said. At one point in my life, I was a 21-year-old Marine, kicking down doors, dodging bullets in Iraq. That's not a job that smart kids choose. These days, I fight terrorism by protecting the nation's critical infrastructure, which mostly involves security assessments, teaching classes, and writing reports. That probably qualifies me as a keyboard warrior. To Big E, you're actually my favorite caller to listen to, and I enjoy hearing your takes, but I had to give you a hard time because I like you. It's how we show love in the Northeast. However, it was pretty funny that you called in 30 minutes after my email to pitch a 6'5" receiver who runs fast.
It was funny.
Anyway, since it's the offseason, I wanted to bring back an old argument for you guys to debate. If a defense rushes 2 interior linemen, drops 2 edges into coverage, and rushes a safety and a linebacker in their place, would you consider that a blitz? If so, would you define a blitz as any instance where the defender rushes from a non-traditional rush position? Rushing is not their primary responsibility. Now, we already had that debate, right?
Ding.
The blitz debate.
Yeah. I was always taught by coaches
right.
in the NFL that a blitz is when you send more than they can block.
Well, if that's how we do it, then that's why Seattle won the Super Bowl. Seattle wasn't sending more than they could block. They were just sending them from weird places.
Okay.
And the Patriots didn't have their blocking lined up correctly. I think that's the difference in what he described right there is what, is basically nowadays they call those creepers, where like you have guys that you think are going to be rushing on the line of scrimmage, they're dropping, and the guys from the back end are the ones that are actually blitzing. And, the way that the protections are set up, that's how you beat
disguise
protection.
Rushes.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
It's nice to see you two come together.
We'll take a break. More calls and emails, and I hope our sponsorship team. Every time I mention the hotline, that could possibly be a sponsor. The whatever Jimmy John's hotline or whatever. Jersey Mike's. So we got to sell that. We got to sell the hotline. All right, we'll be right back.
Whether you're in the game or betting on the game, you'll need a game plan. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots, provides you with everything you need to build your personal betting game plan so you can get in on all the action while practicing safe bets. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn more about all the safe betting tools DraftKings has to offer. Hope is here, 800-327-5050 or gamblinghelplinema.org. Must be 21 plus. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com. Physically present in Massachusetts. See DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move, but the real power move, having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right.
DraftKings is all about responsible gaming. It's more fun when it's for fun. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction.
It's time now for another episode of the Pats from the Past podcast. Matt Smith along with Paul Perillo, and pleased to be joined by the newly inducted member of the Patriots Hall of Fame, number 75 in your program. I don't know if 75 would fit on him now, Paul. Mr. Vince Wilfork. Vince, you look tremendous.
Thank you. I think a size 48 might do. But I'm, like I said, a lot of people, and I think a lot of reasons that people fell in love with me is they realize how of a normal person I am. I can relate to them because I didn't have anybody sharing. Going shopping for me. I cut my own grass. I bought a plow truck. So I was a man's man. If I had to go grocery shop, I go grocery shop. If me and my family want to go eat, we go eat. Whatever they have available, we sit down and eat. So a lot of stuff, I think people kind of equate that, I'm just as normal as everyone else, even though I have, the background of, playing college and a Patriot. I go to Celtics game, I sit in the crowd. So, even now when I go to games now, I sit in the stands. I don't call for a box. I don't call for nothing special for me, So I try to be as normal as possible, but I think over time, people grew to love that about me. It's any day in Boston when I was here, you can walk up to me and catch me anywhere with that normal person to be.
Because this area respects and they embrace the regular human beings.
Yep.
They see the work, getting double and triple teamed and everything like that. They realize you're grabbing your brown bag, hard hat on, and going out to work.
And that's how I am. And even to this day in Houston, I'm the same way. I don't hide. I don't try to call and say, can you block this off? I'm like, no, I'm going to win with everybody else. We all sit and have a good time. We laugh. We talk football. We talk life. And I think that's one thing that draws people in with me. Because I just showed them how normal I can be. I know what I come from. I know, what it's like to grind, and I'm a humble person. So I'm blessed to be in the position that I'm in. I'm blessed to have the career I had, to walk away from the game with one major injury. That's unheard of, playing the position I played. And so I'm truly blessed and I'm lucky. So that's how I look at life. You treat people the way you want to be treated. You treat people with respect, you could demand it. So I've played like that. I live my life like that, and that's why I get along with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So when you go back to the beginning here, 2004, you talked about you're a Cane, you're a Hurricane. So
Hurricane.
You get drafted in the first round.
Yes, sir.
Here. What was draft night like for you? Did you expect to be available at 21?
No.
Were you upset about it?
Were you pissed?
I was pissed, and I remember, my father died of diabetes, so I wanted to do something to give back to diabetes. So I linked up with this organization down there called DRI, Diabetes Research Institute, and we threw this little get together at a place called GameWorks in Miami, and it was just me, my family, and a couple friends, and it was probably 30 of us, and we raised $6,000 that day. And I was sitting there, and I knew we had 6 first rounders. I knew we had that. I was like, well, I know I'm not going to be the last one, because I've met with, Houston came down and met with all of us. Houston was picking at 10, then Atlanta had 8. And Atlanta was talking to me every day. So Atlanta was at 8, and then I went and visit Chicago, and I think Chicago had 13 or 14. I went to Buffalo and Minnesota, right? So I'm like, I know I'm going to be off the board before, I'm not going to be the last Hurricane, right? So Atlanta comes. I'm like, okay, here's our first one. Boom. Atlanta comes. They picked a cornerback. I'm like, okay, 10. Houston got one. Okay, Houston. Houston comes, they pick a cornerback. And I'm like, what the hell? Now, mind you, at the time, Sean Taylor had left and Kellen Winslow had left. So we had Jonathan Vilma left, DJ Williams, Vernon Carey, and myself. So 13, 14 comes Chicago. They picked Tommy Harris, first D tackle taken. So I was like, okay, they went D tackle, but they went that route. Okay. So now I'm like, I have no clue where I'm going to go. You know, Buffalo come up, I forget who Buffalo picked. And then Jets picked Jonathan Vilma, so he was third going. Denver picked DJ Williams, he's the fourth one. So here we go with Miami. So I'm like, okay, at least I could stay home. Even though I didn't grow up, I hated the Dolphins. I said, okay, at least I could stay home. Dolphins come. Vernon Carey. So I said, you got to be effing kidding me.
Is it amazing that the recall? This is 18 years later, Vince.
And I'm amazed that almost all
later,
of them can do that with their round.
And you can just sit there and rattle them off.
Because
you don't forget.
I don't
forget.
That. So here comes New England, right? Boom, they picked me. So I said, okay, I'm still pissed. First round, I'm pissed. And I remember my defensive coordinator at the time, Randy Shannon. He came to me. He said, listen. No, he called me. He said, Vince, listen. I know you pissed off and you're upset, but you're going to be the first one to get a ring. Watch. I said, man, I don't want to hear that. Well, I'm pissed off. And then DJ Williams came, and then our other guys, they came. They was happy, you know, and I was pissed off. Because I'm so competitive. I'm like, how the hell I'm the 6th Hurricane pick? Like, that don't make no sense. So I finally let it go. And throughout my career, I said, well, I'm going to show you I'm the best one of these Hurricanes that got drafted that year. That was the inside. That was burning and driving me. And sure enough, my first year, Super Bowl. And I remember when I won it, I called my defensive coordinator, Randy Shannon. I said, listen, Coach, you told me I was going to be the first one to win one, and you were right. And I kind of let it go then. So now I sit back with all those guys, and I say, yeah, y'all went before me, but I had the better career, and I played with the best team that you could possibly play with. So I'm okay where I got drafted, you know. So it's always an inside joke, but
great story.
I'll never forget it. You know, that was one of the things, one of the multiple things that drove me to be the best I could be.
You had some talent with you on that defensive line too, huh? No shortage of first round picks on that line.
No, I'm thinking it was 3 years we had 18 or 19 first rounders. University of Miami in a 3-year span, and with our class being the top one with 6 in the first round. I think we tied somebody. And at that time, I really didn't know what that meant. I mean, I'd be like, man, this is what we do. We Hurricanes. We go to the NFL. We have good careers. But you look at it now, it's like, 6 in the first round haven't happened. You know, the longevity that, Hurricanes we typically have and the production. So if you go and look at, all the great Hurricanes that played and where they went and how they played in the NFL, they had amazing careers.
Right.
So now I'm able to sit back and be like, yes, I'm part of that fraternity down at the University of Miami. Not only did we did it in college, we also did it at the highest level, and being a Patriot Hall of Famer, that just speaks volume of not only my play, but from everywhere that I come from my upbringing, from my coaches in high school and in college, and a lot of credit go to Bill Belichick, because Bill and Kraft believed it in me. Took a guy from a 4-3 penetrating defense, brought him in the system, and had to teach me the system, And I just remember those days just trying to learn it. Everything I was doing was too fast, so it was like everything was opposite of college. I got to stay front side in college. NFL, we stand backside. I was fast. I had to be fast in college, quick in college. I had to slow down in pros. So everything I was trained and learned to do as a high schooler and a college player, I had to retrain who I was to be a football player in this type of defense.
And now, great moments in history.
I just wish after the first person asks how the guy's doing and he says,
Yeah,
fine,
we
could leave it at that.
Right, we can put a rule on that? Oh, God. That would chop down. We've established. He's doing good. He's doing good.
Let's just get to the question.
Yeah. I don't know if that's like a nervous tick for some people. Like you have to ask someone how they're doing.
No, it's an ego thing. It's an ego thing because they want to be able to say that guy said, "How am I doing?" And I told him how I was doing.
I know.
Too.
I just want to go into a long thing of like, how are you doing?
I know him. I talked to him today.
Well,
I know him. He knows me.
We're in these troubled times.
Exactly. Yeah.
These troubled times.
Rex, remember that time you were in the 7-Eleven and I was in the 7-Eleven and
That
you
was
said
awesome.
hello to me and I said, that was great.
Well, give me a little Rex on that. Yeah, I remember that.
I see a lot of people in the 7-Eleven and, say hello to them all. I'm a nice guy.
Oh, Rexy.
That's another great moment from
The moments aren't the same when I'm not involved in them. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
When I'm not saying something colossally stupid that came back and bit me like 4 years later.
It's also just people that are just not very entertaining.
Yeah,
that
and then,
were in that clip.
And then oh.
Wow, shots fired.
Deuce was in the clip there, bro.
Not Deuce.
Deuce was in the clip.
Talking about Deuce.
So in the just to let everybody know, during our break, Evan absolutely eviscerated Fred to the point where Fred had to storm away and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'll come back, but he's pouting now because Evan smacked him around about a
little Celtics debate.
a misguided Celtics take. It's
all right.
And evidently Alex was too
wanna
enraptured in her
separate them.
lunch to take part.
Listen, the lunch break is so short.
You
It is so
people just
short, and I'm a slow eater.
You want to drive a wedge between
we're
Jaylen
not-
Brown and Jason Tatum.
We're not driving any wedges.
Oh,
Relax.
they want
Relax.
you so badly want to.
You come back to take your beating like a man now?
What are we talking about?
Nothing.
Same thing we were just talking about
I
before you abruptly
I made up
left
a narrative
us.
as to why you left the show.
I'm having some work done at the house. And it's
You had
it's a
some
shit show.
issues with that
Not going
on
well.
Tuesday, huh?
Yeah.
I thought we might get an update on that on the show.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to
Can't kill the
mention companies.
Oh, you don't have to.
I wouldn't want you to do
Unnamed
that.
contractor.
Yeah. No, I'm having, waterproofing work done in the basement, and so 2 months ago I got sold a deal, and all the elements of the deal and all this, and then Tuesday the people who are actually doing the work show up and go, we can't do that. Like, I don't know why they said we were going to do this. We can't do this.
I didn't know there was
So is
stuff
it
like that they
subcontractor?
couldn't do.
So then they get on the phone with the guy and they're screaming at each other.
Oh
boy.
And so I mean, it all got worked out at the end, but then even just now, I got a call from their home office saying, okay, they'll be back the final day on Friday. They'll be 8:30. Okay, he just called me. We're done. I'm like, they called me this morning and said you're gonna be back tomorrow. He goes, no, I'm not gonna be back. He goes, you just mail the check. Like, okay. Like, they are not on the same page at this company, and I don't want to mention
So
the
were
company.
they able to do?
I don't know.
After all of this,
When I get home today, I'll see. I don't know.
Construction in Massachusetts,
Homeowner roulette.
Yeah.
Never know what's going to happen. This is why Evan never wants to buy a house.
They sell two things really good, this crew.
Mike and
Kids and houses.
Don't buy a house.
It really just sounds like a really fun thing to do both based off of
Let me
what you tell me.
let me tell you, if they don't do what they said they're going to do, then I will be on this show saying the name of the
Nice.
company.
Yeah.
Get them.
Well, you don't have to mail the check either.
So
Go ahead, Fred.
So if you're listening, beware. You know who I am?
Here we go. There we go.
Good flex.
Now listen. I mean,
Do you know how many
it's
Super
not-
Bowls
it's-
he's been to?
That's right. It's not inexpensive to waterproof your basement, especially in a house like mine. It's old.
It's fair.
I thought you were going to say it's so big.
It's old.
Surprised you just don't have your
It's near the ocean, and it's so
Surprised
large.
you just
It's
don't
very
have
difficult.
your people that live on the property take care of that kind of stuff.
The help.
The serfs.
My people.
Do you have a service driveway?
No.
You had to think about it though.
Well, I had to think of what she's saying because I was thinking of building a second driveway, but I couldn't because it was too expensive. Yeah. So.
Just throw some seashells on your grass
I think we
and
just
make it
need-
in
let's,
a row.
Let's do a joint GoFundMe for all of us.
Yeah.
We got to get us out of this mess.
We need to help. We need to help.
I
this
know.
one
I had
more
some.
than-
I had
Yeah.
some
Tuition's hitting
pipes.
hard.
I had
For
some
me, it's
pipes
called winning the
freeze while we were
lottery.
gone. It's
Oh, you had pipes freeze? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it sucked.
Happened
Well,
in our
did they
building.
burst or they just freeze?
Just froze.
That's
but it
okay
was-
because then they eventually come
Yeah.
up. It's when they burst, then you get
We had
problems.
to put a switch
Yeah.
to make it easier to deal with in the future. But
Yeah.
just
My
a
hot
mess.
water heater caught on fire the other day.
It caught on fire.
Yeah. The wire itself caught on fire, and the board put it out on its own. And we woke up the next morning, and we were like, "Huh, we have no hot water. Like, what the heck?" And the plumber was like, "Yeah, no, that caught on fire last night, and it put itself out. But good thing you guys caught it. And we were like, cool.
Wow.
And that was a conversation about it.
Yeah. Not good.
Have an issue.
Buy a house, Evan.
Sounds like really fun.
Well,
time.
if you can buy new construction, then you're good for 20, 30 years.
Are you though? Like they build those like sandpaper now. The walls are so thin and crappy, and
You're just getting different.
they don't build
problems. Alex is
homes like
right.
they used to. They really don't.
Quality. Price is going this way, and the quality is going that way.
But the price of your rent is going this way too, right?
My rent has stagnated. Last couple
Don't
years.
speak too soon though.
But
And now you got two people paying for it, right?
I do.
Right.
That's true.
That helps.
Yeah. You would think it would
I
help
just
more.
I didn't pay rent for a long period of time.
That's nice.
But I hated every minute
You're
of
like
it.
a squatter?
Well,
How did you get away with not paying rent?
I'm Italian.
He lived with
So
his
you
mom.
lived at home.
So I lived at home.
Okay.
I'm Italian.
Paulie, you'll live
Your-
with me till
your
you
mother
get
fed you.
married.
My mother, if my
When did you
mother had
move
her
out?
way, I'd still be living there.
What
so
age
true.
did you move out, Paul?
I'd rather not say.
Yeah, that's fine.
was
I'm only.
a couple weeks
I just
ago.
moved out.
I was-
32.
No, I was. I
The
was
day
like-
before
I
his
was like
wedding.
27, 26, 27. I was
Okay.
pretty old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I quit University of Tampa, and I was between. So I moved back home for like a month. My father walked in one morning. I'm in bed. He's like,
What are you doing here?
"You can either go back to school or get a job, but you're not staying here." And that was it.
See, my parents were the exact opposite. They said,
Same.
save your money, pay your student loans,
Right.
Yeah.
save as much money as you can. You're going to work.
Yeah.
It's not a
Oh, yeah.
vacation. You're going
Yeah.
to work. But, I mean, I had a real job. Didn't make any money, but I had my job at the Herald. And they said, stay as long as you can.
That's how my mom was. But the bad thing was, like, I was like, no. And then COVID happened, and I had all those years of independence, and then I moved back home as like a 26-year-old.
That's different. And I also didn't spend a
Sounds
lot
like a
of time.
sitcom.
It was a sitcom.
I
Alex is
also
back.
didn't spend a lot of time living at school.
In my house full of siblings.
That's exactly what happened to me.
That would be hard.
I lived on my own from when I went to college to 3 years out of college, and then when I went and took the job at Clintus to come cover the Patriots, I didn't make any money, so I
So
had
Clintus doesn't have housing for all those people?
no budget.
Live together in like a dorm.
In one house. It's like
Frat house.
Like a little
Sam
frat house.
Bankman Fried and
That
FTX. They were all living in the same house, hooking up with
that
each
would've been
other.
smart, but I was like 24, 25, but then I had to move back in with my parents, which was
For COVID.
not ideal. I was.
No, when
I'm
you-
old, Chris. I'm not.
Oh,
No, that
sorry, dude.
COVID happened. I was with Jess already, but yeah, the move back in with your parents after you're on your own for like 5 or 6 years is not
Yeah.
is a tough pill to swallow.
Neither side is having any fun.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Well, my mother loved it, but that's because she's like Paul's mom.
For your mother.
Yeah.
For your father.
All right. 855 PATS 500 is the hotline. Podcast@patriots.com is the email address. Oh, just had a meatball sub.
He made it a grinder.
Yeah. People don't know what that means.
But I do.
All right. Sam's in Connecticut. What's up, Sam?
Hey guys, I got two questions for you. And apologies, I'm just coming off a cold, so my voice is a little hoarse.
Aren't we all?
We wouldn't know.
Yeah. The first thing I wanted to ask you guys about, I think Evan said throughout the season that defenses weren't really like respecting May or the receivers or pass catchers. I was wondering if there was a certain time, like towards the end of the season, or if it was in the playoffs where teams started to really respect the pass game, and if that was kind of a reason for the offense kind of, going down in their efficiency in scoring. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up is I have a lot of appreciation for Josh McDaniels. I'm really happy we signed him. He deserves his flowers. But one play that I saw throughout the season and in the Super Bowl as well is running Henderson up the middle. I feel like every time they try this, it never works. But I'm not sure if there's any like rhyme or reason for it. But it always makes me scratch my head. So I'd love to hear you guys kind of discuss maybe why they do that. Because to me, he seems like a running back who should go to the outside in open space, or maybe catch the ball, but not up the middle like Stevenson. And that's all I have.
Predictability.
Yeah, I mean, but listening to Josh and how he describes like how he sets things up, like to me, every time I see Henderson run the middle, in my mind, I'm like, all right, they're doing that to set something up for later, and then they never get to later. You know,
I think they did.
But I think that's
But I
exactly
agree with
what
you.
it is.
Yeah,
You can't
that's
just
what they
run him
do.
outside the entire time because then teams are going to start loading up for him
Right.
to run outside.
Right.
So you have to have balance to it. You know, we talk run past balance, but there's also just like where you're attacking the field in terms of balance. And if he's always on the field for certain runs, then teams are smart. They're going to figure that out and they're going to be ready for it. So the 1 or 2 runs he gets up the middle is there to counter. So when they do toss it out to him, the defense has to at least respect.
It's like
that
in
he
the
could go
Super Bowl, I think the first time he got the ball, Henderson, it was up the middle. And then I think they ran a draw that was kind of, obviously designed to go. But that's kind of a trick run play, and they snuffed it out. But then start of the second half, they sent him wide. Now, there were no big, huge plays like there were in the middle of the season there.
Right.
But
even those plays, those were bounces.
But I do think that
Tampa was a bounce, and Buffalo was a bounce. With Drake was the lead blocker. I believe Buffalo was a bounce.
Yeah.
Well, the Buffalo
But that was supposed to
wide.
go
It was supposed to go
outside.
wide right, and he bounced it wide left.
Out the back door.
The Tampa one was up.
I think it was
not
inside,
a wide
inside
right.
tackle.
But I'm talking about in the Super Bowl, they did try to do some of that. Now, Seattle's defense was just really good.
Yeah.
And they didn't allow him to go 60 yards like, Tampa did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mitch in Saratoga says, just like the emailer on Tuesday, I do not like the word confidence, but for totally different reasons. Every time someone on the show says confidence, the first thing that comes to mind is, and confidence is key while on the road, from all of Fred's Bridgestone reads over the past few years. Okay, so
I do think of that as well.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes.
Confidence. Okay. Eldred is on the phone to defend his honor. What's up, Eldred?
Whose honor?
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing?
All right.
Hey, lady, you doing all right?
Doing great. How are you?
Yes, lady.
Okay. No, I ain't gonna defend my honor, but I like Nick. But just like Nick, I'm ex-military too, bro. And you 21. Let me see. I was defending way before you even thought about.
Here we go. Military on military crime. I like it.
Yeah. The U.S. Army.
He was a Marine, Eldred. He's got you beat.
But all together, like I said, no harm, no foul. But question: I keep seeing this trade promotion, but Paul said he don't want to do it though. Would you give a 2 and a 3 for Brown, AJ Brown? But according to NFL,
2 and a 3 for AJ Brown.
2 and a 3.
And
I might
I'd
think
have to go
about
for a
it.
first round pick for AJ Brown.
A
Definitely.
2 and a 3, I'd be interested in
Stamp.
in that. Yeah.
Where do I sign?
Yeah.
They got Cleveland ahead. Cause Cleveland, what they want to give their first and a third, and I think their numbers what.
So he went for a first and a third when he went from the Titans to the Eagles, and that was like 3 or 4 years ago now.
So it should be a second and a fourth.
Right. So
I read something today about
Good
a
logic.
trade proposal. They had 4 different proposals. And it was, I think it was a pick swap in the second and third round too, something like that. There was a bunch of picks going back and forth.
there's a little bit of cap gymnastics with AJ Brown that they'll have to work through, because if they trade him before June 1st, his dead cap money for the Eagles I think is $30 million, something like that. It's a lot.
About 28, I think.
Yeah,
28,
so if it could be a post Q1 trade, which obviously changes everything because now it's 2027 draft picks and not 2026 draft picks.
Right.
So that would be a significant difference. So we'll see if the Eagles are just, they
Thanks, Eldred.
Laurie tends to just pay it. So maybe they'll just do that.
and
But
the ESPN.com story, they had like 4 different guys. Gave I think like Jeremy Fowler gave one. I think your guy Solak gave one. And there was 2 other guys. They all had AJ Brown proposals, and one of them was with the Patriots. I think it was Seth Walder, maybe, which was the one that offered the one for the Patriots. But the summation of the story was he'll probably end up just staying put, because Philadelphia is not generally in the business of trading away their good players. And they haven't really. They've been able to work through these things, and that was kind of the takeaway was they'll probably figure out a way. Roseman has been down this road before, and he finds a way to hold on to these guys.
that'd be my one worry about trading with the Eagles, is that you get into a negotiation with Howie Roseman. Plus, like if Howie Roseman's giving up on AJ Brown, that would worry me. Like, why does the best GM in football not want this player anymore? Now, sometimes it's just as simple as they're headed for a divorce. Like the relationship is fried.
It's inevitable.
And that's it. But
it feels like it's just been so public, and it's like, I get that they've had their issues, but the Eagles were still a pretty good team this year, and it's just
it's every year. It's the same conversation every year with AJ Brown, and I mean there'll be rumors that pop up like, oh, he doesn't feel right, he doesn't feel respected by Jalen Hurts, blah 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 blah, and it's just a constant cycle, and it's like, is it actually gonna happen? Is it not gonna? Like we don't know. You know what I mean?
So what comes first? You're crazy or you're a wide receiver?
Well, I think with AJ Brown, the problem is that he's been in such a run-heavy offense.
Do you become crazy after you're a wide receiver, or you're crazy and then you become a wide receiver?
I think his issue right now is volume.
Yeah,
because like they're a run-heavy offense. Like it's Saquon, it's Jalen Hurts as a runner. Like that's the basis of their offense. And Devontae Smith is there, Dallas Goedert. There's not a lot of.
So it's all ego driven.
There's one ball, and they got 3 or 4 guys that all want it all the time, and so it's hard to kind of spread it around enough. And I think that winning is cool, but he also wants his, and I don't think he's getting it.
And how does Vrabel look at a guy like that? Because look at our receiving core this year.
Vrabel loves him.
Yeah.
AJ Brown was on Edelman's podcast today and said he didn't really like Vrabel at first.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A lot of the veteran
does he
players
now?
have
A lot of
said
players.
that.
He does now. Now he respects him.
Don't.
But it was just like he was a rookie and he was really hard on him.
Oh, yeah.
But I haven't listened to the full episode.
If you have
but
a
the
thin
clip I saw.
skin, Vrabel can be tough.
Yeah.
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 Receivers are
Brian in
egomaniacs.
Swansea, who has a little Thursday trivia. Ready?
Thursday
Paul, it's your
trivia.
turn.
Stump the grump.
Who was the only player to have a rushing touchdown against the Patriots in a Super Bowl and to also have played for the Patriots?
LeGarrette Blount.
That's true. No. Oh, yes. Why does he have Lamar Blunt?
I was going to say you have the answer.
No, I know, but he's got the wrong first name.
Come on.
Lamar
So then
Blunt.
now I question all of
Hunt?
these.
Lamar Hunt had a baby with LeGarrette Blount.
Yeah.
Who was the only player to have a receiving touchdown against the Patriots in a Super Bowl and to also have played for the Patriots?
Receiving touchdown against the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Nelson Aguilar.
Incorrect.
Darn.
Who also played for the Patriots.
Wow. That was my
You want a hint?
What? Beginning of the beat?
You need a hint?
Yeah.
He's currently on the team.
He's on the Patriots?
Yep.
Matt Collins?
Nope.
No.
Dang, those are my 2 guesses.
Austin
Austin Hooper.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he said receiver. Boo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Misleading.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
see? This guy.
Misleading.
Wrong first name, wrong
This
position.
guy's former Eagles
Yeah.
that played the Patriots.
Yeah.
in the Super Bowl.
I liked the question.
Okay.
He received the ball.
Yeah.
Good enough
How
for
is
me.
this one going to be wrong? Which Patriot played college football at the same college that his father and both his grandfathers did? Both his grandfathers, maternal and paternal.
That I have no idea.
Which Patriots player?
Yeah. Played college football at the same college his father and his grandfathers played. That's
Drake
called
May.
legacy.
Drake May?
Ben Brown. They all played for Mississippi.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, his story came up a little bit during Super Bowl week. I feel like.
Who are the last 5 players to lead the NFL in receiving yards for a season who played for the Patriots at some point during their career?
Diggs.
That's one.
Randy Moss.
Random Moss.
No, he did not do it.
Never left him.
Let the league.
Last 5 players to lead the NFL in receiving yards for a season who played for the Patriots at some point.
Josh Gordon.
2.
Oh, good, Evan. That's a good one.
Yeah, should have got that one before, I guess, Randy Moss.
It's funny because other than Diggs, because the jury's not out on him, all of them were kind of like weird while they were on the team.
Brandon Lloyd.
That's 3.
Antonio Brown?
4.
Oh, good one.
Wes Welker.
Nope. He wasn't weird.
Brandon Cooks?
Nope.
No, but he led. Oh, he's kind of weird. But didn't he lead the
He
league
never
last
led the
year?
league.
I thought
Well,
he
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
One year that he had the
Chad
record.
Johnson.
Mm.
Ocho
Oh, the
Cinco.
Ocho
Yeah.
Cinco.
That's
Ocho Cinco.
experience.
Good question.
Forgot about that.
Yep. And then he has one with no answer. During the Super Bowl era, only twice has a team's passing yards leader and receiving yards leader had the same last name. Who are these two pairs? And he's got no answer for it. So
Microsoft Copilot?
I don't know.
So Johnson, maybe? Brad Johnson. No, but he wasn't a passing leader.
I can't imagine.
I don't know.
Passing leaders.
Got nothing.
I have no
That's
idea.
a tough one.
Yeah. Namath.
What big name quarterback has a really popular last name?
No Elways.
No Marinos.
I was thinking like Alex Smith, but I can't think of it.
Yeah.
You know.
So you're going to have to email back and give us the answer. That wasn't fair.
All right, so I have that story that I was talking about from ESPN. This is the proposal that Seth Walder had. Be the 2026 first round pick, 2026 third round pick, 2026 sixth round pick. Patriots would get A.J. Brown and a 26 second round pick.
Why do they have to make these so complicated?
So basically,
Again.
it's a first and a sixth and a pick swap from the third to the second. So you go up like 40 spots in this to the second round.
Okay, done deal. Let's go.
This is so Seth Walder's their big analytics guy, so he definitely just put this into like his analytics computer and was like spit out what
I don't know why you say that with such disdain. I mean,
and it was like,
this is what you do.
We're gonna pick swap, and then we're gonna send a sixth, and we're gonna send this pick. Like, just can we just make it simple?
Yeah,
That's
Like,
pretty simple. I mean,
we got pick swaps
I like
in there.
that.
We got this and a
Yeah,
sixth.
it's
and
a first, a third, and a
Hey,
sixth
get it done
for
however you
Brown
can.
and a second. That's the trade.
So that's not that far off for the trade that he went from the Titans to the Eagles.
Like your
It's a
boy
similar deal.
Solak has Baltimore. Eagles would get a 27 second round pick, a 27 fourth round, which is also a conditional third rounder, and Rashad Bateman for A.J. Brown.
Okay.
And then the Bills offer from Dan Graziano a 26 first round pick straight up.
These are real offers, or
No, these are
Oh.
4 hypothetical trade
Okay.
offers. And Cleveland's is Jeremy Fowler, a 26 first round pick.
What's the Patriots offer? Was that the first one?
You frustrate.
That was.
I didn't know that was specific to us. I didn't know if it was. Okay.
That
All
was the
right.
Patriots
Walder.
offer.
All right. Okay.
26 first round pick, third round pick, sixth round pick. Patriots would get Brown in a second.
Russell's in Florida. With free agency right around the corner, do you think Vrabel has made this team a desirable place to play?
Yes.
Yes.
And do you think they're going to be aggressive like last year or more conservative with the checkbook? Do you think we finally became one of those teams that makes a big trade for a top-tier player this offseason? Anyone?
I feel as though their
Definitely a
offseason is going to
destination.
be more calculated than last
I would say
year.
it's be more in the middle of.
I don't think it'll be aggressive
That.
with the checkbook.
Like,
I don't.
I think last year was more like we were talking about earlier. They just bought a lot of different players, whereas I think this will be like maybe one or two. Splash might be strong, but just one or two guys that come in that you're
So I'm
like,
kind of hoping.
that's a good player. You know, that's good. That guy's
Like a
going to be a
difference maker.
big time contributor.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to get the volume of free agents that they had last
They
year.
spent
I
a
would-
lot of money last
Sure did.
offseason.
I would say it's going to be more like a controlled free agency as far as like you're reaching out for the guys that you're going for. I think it's going to be sort of looking at your roster more. And like Evan said, like you looked at the roster last year and you knew you needed to fill a bunch of holes with starters. Like that was clear. Now you have those starters, and now it's okay. Where else can I plug a couple of pieces? And I think that's kind of it's gonna be more. They're obviously thinking with everything that they're doing, but I think it's gonna be more conversation and more kind of going a little bit deeper into why they're going for that player.
Yeah, I think that you're going to have some of those diamond in the rough type signings that actually they hit on a lot of them, like Tonga, for
Yeah,
example,
great.
like those
Yeah.
types of players.
Great.
And then you might have like one or two big names that everybody recognizes that are more star players.
Right.
Maybe only one, but I think you'll get one or two of those.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical.
Cool.
Kieran in Chicago
What's that, Paul?
says, "Hey Evan, and this was for Catch 22.
Oh, okay. We might have already
Why
read
is he
it.
sending it now? Wow,
Yeah.
just came in.
Oh.
Maybe he's just
I don't
listening
know.
now.
Did you?
I want to read it anyway.
Okay.
First time emailer. But your talk about wide receivers running 4.5s got me thinking, and I didn't want to lose the thought. In that conversation, you talked about how speed is flashy, but running a 4-4 isn't everything because there is also a lot of technique you need to be a good wide receiver. This felt like a very similar conversation about Will Campbell and his arm length. What are the sexy measurements for other positions that can be a red herring when it comes to production?
I would say the arm. Well, the whole thing that we were talking about with wide receivers was like, if you just look at the two best receivers in football right now, I think most people would agree are Puka and JSN. And neither one of those guys are burners. Like, neither one of them are, sub 4-4, take the top off the defense kind of guys. I think that, we are just sort of learning that, if you look at the law, the averages and things like that, and then you marry that to production in the NFL, as long as a receiver is in that, like, 4-5 range, they're fine.
I totally agree
Now,
with
if you start getting into, like, 4-6 plus, 4-5 plus,
now you're in the short arm category.
We're in the short arm category, yeah. But in terms of, do you need that top end speed?
Right.
No, I don't.
You don't
think
have to
you
be the very fastest guy, but there are sort of requirements. I don't think they're red herrings. There's a reason why
they're thresholds.
Will Campbell will be an outlier if he turns out to be an all-pro left tackle with his measurements.
Yeah, I think he meant red flags rather than red herrings.
No, I think he's saying it's not really a thing.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the way I read that email. Like,
okay.
You guys were talking about speed. I would totally agree with what Alex and Evan were talking about.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the 4-2 guy.
Jerry Rice wasn't.
No, there's a lot of really good receivers that are fast. They're not burners per se, but you can't be slow.
Yeah.
There's a difference, and that's what I think is the difference when you're talking about the arm length. I mean, there are always going to be exceptions. Anquan Bolden was really athletic when he came into the league, but he turned out to be like a great player for a lot of years and couldn't run anymore. He was just so good at being able to carve out space,
strong,
and he was productive for 100 years with Baltimore. At the end of his career, he couldn't run anymore. There aren't that many guys like that.
Yeah, they're not. Because we were talking about the combine and getting ready for the combine, and I just think that nowadays too the in-game tracking of play speed, how fast guys are moving with pads on during games. They have so much of that data now. All these teams do. A lot of teams are putting less and less emphasis on what's going on in Indianapolis next week. And
to your point, Ev, like at the combine, like what these guys run at the combine, if you come into the league running a 4.5, that's like kind of about, you don't want to be much less than that because 3 years in, you ain't running 4.5 anymore. Once you start getting beat up a little bit and the wear and tear that comes. Fred will know this guy. I don't know if you'll remember him, Evan. Vincent Brisby.
Oh, yeah.
From the 90s. Mm-hmm. Was a really productive receiver. He came into the league as a little bit slow, but he was really good for a little while, and it didn't last very long because when you go from 4.5 to 4.7, all of a sudden you're irrelevant.
Yeah.
You go from 4.4 to 4.5, 4.6, you can still get by.
Yeah, we were talking about Denzel Boston from Washington, who is one of the top receivers in the draft and first round caliber player, and he's not considered to be a burner. And somebody had asked us, like, what's a number that he could run next week that would make you feel comfortable with his speed? And I said, like, low 4.5s. So that's how we got into discussion, and that's right around where, like, Ted McMillan was last year, Mecca Ibuka, all those types of guys, and they all played just fine. Their play speed is more than enough at this level. So I think that's really been adjusted now. No more Al Davis. We're just going to draft Darius Hayward-Bay because he ran a 4.2.
And with McMillan and Puka that you mentioned earlier, they also have some exceptional traits that aren't related to speed, like their size and, their contested catch.
Their high point ability.
Like that kind of stuff. I mean, they have some other traits that I would say are probably high end for the position.
Yeah.
Brian has the answer to his trivia question.
Oh, good.
The two pairs are Zach Wilson and Owen Wilson, 2022 and 2023 Jets. Owen Wilson. That's what he had.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I was like,
this guy is unbelievable.
Owen Wilson's the actor, right? I thought I was. Is Luke there?
Wedding
too?
Crashers.
And then he has. And then he has Brad Johnson and Keyshawn Johnson.
So it was Brad Johnson.
Yeah.
Good, Fred. You
Yeah.
had that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you credit.
Well, I didn't get the other receiver,
Yeah,
but
I'm going to give you credit anyway
Keyshawn.
because I'm magnanimous that way.
was
Yeah,
Keyshawn's
Owen
one
Wilson.
good season.
You're a good guy, Paul.
Owen Wilson in the NFL.
Wedding Crashers is a great movie, though. I mean,
Wedding Crashers, it's another one. You got to stop and watch it every time.
Yeah.
Hot route.
I understand. You
I
just-
think it started off hot. It tailed off at the end.
That's probably fair. I feel like it was the end. They could have wrapped it up faster. There was like 2 different endings. I was like, this whole second ending could have just been like Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Never seen it.
Very different movie.
The Lord of the Rings.
Never seen it?
Lord of the Rings has like
Nice. I knew you
the
were
third
high
one
on
has
my
like
list.
6 endings.
Did you have to read
like,
The
you think
Hobbit?
it's over
seen
like
it. No.
5 times before that thing is over. He's too young for this stuff.
I don't know.
I feel like I had to read The Hobbit as curriculum.
I didn't read The Hobbit.
Wow.
As curriculum for what?
If I
English.
didn't have to
Really?
read,
Yeah.
I tried to like just
Maybe
kind of
I was in
read
an
like
advanced
sports
English
papers
class.
and-
I didn't get to read anything cool.
That's
That's
because
about my life.
you're going to be in the NFL if it wasn't for your foot.
Right.
Of course.
That's what.
I mean,
That's why
I
you
had
wouldn't-
athlete on the mind.
School
you
to
wouldn't
do
even go into
school.
class. Like, no, I'm majoring in NFL.
Oh
I'm here to
man,
play football, not play school.
that's
Right.
not true.
Andy Katzenmoyer.
I was a great student, guys. I was a great student.
Josh in Ohio, little listener on listener crime, Christian in LA edition. Hey you guys, Christian in LA here. Just got home off my private jet from having a private dinner with the Countess of Netherlands at the top of the Eiffel Tower. It was
Miss
fine.
Netherlands, not
Looking
the
forward to
Countess.
my brunch in the center of the Roman Colosseum with Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Switzerland next week. Anyway, the team showed exactly who they were during the Super Bowl, a true cardboard lion. Patriots just need to trade a couple 6-rounders for that Maxx Crosby guy in Oakland, draft a stud wide receiver at 31, a Hall of Fame tackle at 63, cut Drake May. The kid has no clutch gene and clearly can't escape the pocket. I'll take it offline. But with those moves, I easily see a 17-2 season and a return trip to the Super Bowl. So he's making fun of Christian in L.A. there.
I'm here for that.
What's going on here, Paul?
We're not playing very well.
No, we are not.
Great for radio.
Jordan writes
USA
in.
Canada women's hockey. Gold medal.
Gold medal game. Canada's kind of kicking our butts right now.
There's only 2 good teams in the world.
Yeah, and they're playing right now.
Right.
Yep.
So they got to do something
That
about
game
that.
yesterday was.
Although, hats off to Switzerland.
Yeah.
Northeastern's Alina Mueller
Oh, yeah?
wins the bronze medal in overtime.
Hey,
Go
he's-
Huskies.
You're the only one here that knows it.
I know.
That is correct.
Nobody knows.
That is correct.
Nobody
appreciate it,
cares.
though.
Nobody
I
knows.
appreciate it.
Quinn Hughes, though, hero.
Jordan says, I was interested in the conversation on whether it takes a cold-blooded killer or alpha personality to be an all-time great. Again, I go back to the beginning of the Patriots dynasty. For the first 3 Super Bowls, I would argue that Brady was not the leader or face of the team. The real leaders of that dynasty were all on defense. Ty Law, Rodney Harrison, Teddy Bruschi, Willie McGinnis, Richard Seymour. Brady earned their respect with his play on the field and quiet confidence. It was only after the years of experience that Brady grew into the GOAT as those veterans left, retired, and the team became his. Let's not rush Drake to be the guy and we should give him time. He's very young. He's only been in the league for 2 years. Let Milton Williams, Robert Spillane, Morgan Moses lead this team and let Drake grow into the role just like Brady did. Perhaps this team will morph into an offense-reliant team just like the Patriots dynasty did, which made Brady the clear focal leader, and May, with more time, will do the same. Okay.
Isn't it funny? I'm not picking on the emailer, but they were an offense-reliant team
This
during
year.
this year.
Yeah.
I feel like the playoffs have
The
completely.
playoffs, recency
Have
bias.
changed that.
Yeah.
But
He was
yeah,
runner-up
and
for the MVP. Like
It's a gross
this year.
undersell of Tom Brady's early.
I knew he was. Yeah, I knew. You were.
I mean, just a gross undersell. I mean, like, so they would have won the Super Bowl if Drew kept playing. You know,
Right.
the number 1 Drew suck up on the planet. No, they would not have.
I mean,
Even with all those leaders on defense, no.
They just
Brady-
have different personalities.
No, that's a whole different argument. But to say that Brady wasn't he wasn't the face of the 2001 Patriots. He was the face of the 03 and 04 Patriots.
I also feel like the noise around Drake has been fair enough that it's not like pushing him like he is that alpha guy. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he's kind of in a good place right now. It could just be my perspective, but I feel like as far as Drake goes as the leader and as player on the team, like I feel like he's just one of the guys. You know what I mean? I don't feel like he's not stepping in the way
he's
of those
23.
guys. You know,
I mean,
like,
there's plenty of time for him to grow into a more of a,
You see it like
outwardly leadership role.
You see it in pockets with him.
Yeah.
Where like it will come out and like there's times where like I feel like he's got kind of that, swagger to him that you want in that position.
You see it every Friday.
And like just like kind of that like high school like I'm star quarterback in high school jockey type of thing. And there was the one other time I could think of where I really saw it. We were talking in the locker room, and he wanted to play the Bills again because he was so mad that they lost to the Bills the second time, and he wanted the Bills, and I was like kind of crazy for that. Like, careful what you wish for. And he like really wanted to play the Bills again because he thought they should have beaten him both times.
Yeah,
and he was so mad that they didn't beat him the second time that he was really hoping in the playoffs they were going to get another crack at Buffalo.
Right.
And then they didn't, and whatever. But you see it in those types of ways.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily Brady.
It's in like a perfectionism way.
Yeah,
he's really
right.
analytical. And then again, he's just so young. I think it's a confidence thing. I think
it's going to come with time.
So
like,
if the
that's how it
Patriots
works.
had got another crack at Buffalo, it would have been during that huge snowstorm.
What would we have done? I've talked about this a lot of times. We couldn't have played that game. It was like a state of emergency here.
Yeah, I guess
it would have been interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have been able to play the game. I think they would have had to move it. It was really bad.
There's a chance that you're right.
Yeah, because it was during the game.
10 times worse here than it was in Denver.
Oh yeah,
and Denver was
it wasn't
terrible.
even close.
Yeah.
Denver came out of nowhere, kind of like.
Yeah, I
they
know,
were
but there wasn't a
anticipating
lot
that.
of accumulation on the. Well, I guess there was some on the field, but
Yeah.
But not
it was
like
more
this.
the wind and everything else.
Before the
blizzard
game,
conditions in
before the
Denver.
game
That's-
had started, it was a 3:00 start, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There was already over a foot of snow on the
Yes.
ground,
Here, in Boston.
and it was like continuing to fall. So it's not like it snowed,
Right.
it stopped, and they would have
No.
had time to clear out.
They wouldn't have.
There was over a foot of snow before we even walked.
So what
in.
I
would
don't
they
know how
have done?
people would have even
Yeah.
gotten here.
Yeah, I think Alex might be right.
They wouldn't have been able to play.
They might not have been able to play.
What would
and
they
might have had
postpone it
moved-
to the next
I
day?
think they would
have
have
they
to.
ever
Yeah.
canceled a game like that, Fred?
You can't
In your
cancel it.
memory?
No.
The Patriots.
No,
have-
not cancel.
Didn't
but
they
like,
have to
postpone it.
postpone
have they done
something?
They have.
Yeah, they have.
Mostly
the
regular.
Patriots
Wasn't it like
haven't.
Buffalo a couple years ago?
Yeah,
Something
mostly
had to get
regular
postponed.
season games.
Philadelphia
Yeah.
had one that was moved, I think, to a Monday or
Hurricanes
even a
have done
Tuesday.
it.
Oh yeah, they've
Buffalo
had to
played
move
in
the
Detroit.
home venue.
They-
Yes, that's the game I'm
Buffalo
thinking of.
played
Yeah.
Cleveland in Detroit. one
Detroit,
game.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But not playoffs usually.
But what would you do, man?
I think they would have
moved
moved it to Monday.
Yeah.
Chris,
The NFL has gotten very lucky with a lot of those over
Yeah,
the
they have.
years. Like the famous Kansas City AFC Championship game in Kansas City, the 18.
yeah.
It would have been the same kind of thing that Alex was talking about that day. It was ridiculous here.
Yeah. Proud keyboard warrior Chris from New Hampshire writes in, when I craft and fire off an email, it has to be selected by the great Kirsch.
Yes.
The great Kirsch selects only the best emails, and the pride and joy one can feel as he hears his words read back to him can truly be monumental. There is no such bar with callers. All you require is an open line, then you get your chance to grind the show to a halt as you ask how everyone is doing, then give your resume as a fan and listener. The opinions, usually regurgitated, of someone who watched them play at Boston University is no more worthless than someone who started watching football when Bad Bunny started. The only caller I get anything out of is Christian from LA. He is a constant reminder that wealth doesn't stop someone from being a loser.
Dang.
That was harsh.
Chris in New Hampshire. That's what he has to
Not
say.
necessarily wrong, but harsh.
Yeah.
I'm the top.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, let's get back to the phones. Derek is in North Carolina. What's up, Derek?
It's actually in South
Oh,
Carolina.
yeah. When I look at the screen, then I look up, I can't see. What's up?
It's hard to follow up with an email like that. So I won't ask how anybody is doing. I won't tell you about anything about my history as a Patriots fan. I'll just ask this. I sent an email, but I don't know if y'all read it. I had to jump off the line. But is Cole Kmet an option for a tight end 1, tight end 2? He obviously is expendable now that Colson Loveland is in Chicago. He's a big guy. He's a big body. I don't know if he's a free agent or if he's under contract. Is that an option? I'll take it off the air.
Okay. I've seen Cole Kmet's name in a couple of emails as I've been scanning, so you're not the only one wondering that.
He is under contract. Ben Johnson likes his tight ends. So
that was my first reaction.
I don't
he
know.
likes to use a lot of
now,
multiple
do
tight
they
ends.
feel like that they could draft a tight end and get cheaper at that tight end 2 spot behind Colston Loveland? But I think they're a little bit different players too. So I don't know. I just don't know if I was gonna say Detroit, if Chicago is gonna really want to move on from Cole Kmet and kind of give up that flexibility of being in those 2 tight end looks. But him and Michael Mayer in Vegas is kind of in
He's
a
another
similar
one.
category of now you have Brock Bowers in front of you. Like, could either one of those be available? Maybe.
I like Cole Kmet. Always have.
Big dude.
He's beast.
Huge.
Ben in Brooklyn writes in, anyone notice that Barmore was panting heavily on the first defensive series of the second half? Super Bowl, I'm assuming. Might have been the same series where he attempted to chase down the runner and only managed to briefly hold hands with him. I don't know. Did anyone else notice that? No, I didn't. Also, while the show has discussed some coaching questions related to the offense, do you have any theories as to why McDaniels didn't make any of those adjustments? 6-0 linemen, tosses, etc.
No, they did some of them.
They did some.
Just not well.
Yeah. I just think the
6
Seahawks had their
offensive
number.
linemen is, I think, a very legitimate second guess. They ran it one play. So like, you can't say that they did it. They didn't. They only did it once.
My guess is when you play teams like Seattle that play as much zone as they play, you want to try to send as many guys into the route as you possibly can because you're trying to stress rules and things like that. When you kind of go to that 6-0 line thing, you're basically sending max 3 receivers into the route, and maybe they just felt like we're going to send 3 guys into the route with 7 guys in coverage. We're going to be where our numbers going to be to take advantage. But it obviously I brought up all these second guesses, so I'm with them.
And they are, and it's all legit. When you have an offensive game the way they did in the Super Bowl, these are all fair second guesses.
Sure.
They didn't perform well enough. They didn't execute. I don't think the plan was great. I think they felt Seattle wasn't going to adjust their personnel to the Patriots' 6 offensive linemen.
Agreed.
And I think that was part of the reason why they didn't do it. But they didn't do it, so I don't know if it would have worked.
Yeah.
And next week we'll talk to both Elliot Wolf and Mike Rabel at the Combine, and I'm sure they'll get a lot of free agency questions, Gonzo questions, things like that. But to me, I think one of the biggest questions right now is like what happened in the playoffs with the offense. Why did the offense? Was it just level of competition? Was it young guys and pressure and all that? Like what happened to the offense we saw in the regular season? Once they got to the playoffs, it looked like a completely different team was out there playing offense. And those are the tough questions that I think they're going to have to answer when we start to map out the offseason of like, do you need big upgrades on offense or did you need experience? Did you need that sort of thing? In which direction do you think it needs to go in?
Lastly, since it's the offseason, I agree with Paul's observation a while back that The Departed was a weak movie.
Oh,
it's a great movie. If I were a linguistic consultant, my recommended deep-cut Boston accents would be Bagabook or bag, potato chips, irregardless.
Irregardless is more of an Italian one.
Yeah, it's not a word.
You don't like The Departed?
I don't think The Departed is anywhere near as good as most of those other movies.
Wow.
The Town.
I think they're all good.
They're all great.
It's
It's all in the same category.
When I tell you to bury a body in the mosh, you got to bury it in the mosh.
I don't like it.
Why didn't you like
product
it?
of my
You don't like Matt Damon?
I want my
Who didn't you like in it?
to be a product of
Matt
me.
Damon and
Nicholson?
Leonardo DiCaprio. And
didn't like
I
Leo?
thought Nicholson mailed it in, to be honest with you.
Wow.
These are some hot takes.
I didn't think
Wow.
it was
It won
a
Best
good movie.
Picture.
That is a hot take.
I didn't think
I
it was a
like it.
very good movie.
Oh, I
I
loved
like
it.
it.
Me too. It's
I
my
loved
favorite
it.
movie of
I
all
just learned
time.
a lot about
Probably.
you today,
It's
Paul.
up there. It's top 3.
Huh?
I just learned a lot about you today. I didn't.
I
I love
respect
those
it.
movies. To
I
be honest with
respect
you,
the take.
all of them. But I didn't love
That's
that one.
my genre.
So, like, if you had
The Town being better than The
tomato
Departed
rating,
is
what would you
crazy
give
to
it?
me.
I don't know.
Did you see Mystic River?
Mystic River also
That was a
better,
good one.
also better than The
So
Departed.
you're saying is it's not as good as like
Great movies.
Like-
yeah, I'm
like
not saying it's like
Goodfellas,
Joe
or it's
versus the
not-
volcano.
or it's not as good as like
It's not as good as Goodfellas, The Town.
well, I would agree. I mean, Goodfellas might be the best movie of
Mystic
all time,
River.
So I would agree with that.
The
Never seen-
Town's
I've
a
never
little
seen
slight
Goodfellas.
notch under.
Never seen Goodfellas.
I love
Never
it.
seen Goodfellas.
Yeah, I like them all.
Me too.
I don't know.
Ben Affleck
need
in
to
the
go
town
on.
when
if
the
I
scene
could
where he's
just
doing a
if I
pull
could
up,
just
like,
take out the 5 minutes in the town where they drive to Everett for the drug thing.
or all of Blake Lively.
Hey, she was bad. She was Jack Nicholson-esque.
She was hot but bad.
It was tough.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was tough.
She
Yeah,
was
I
bad
hate
in
when
that
they
movie.
Get a
always
good
feel in
Boston
these
girl.
movies, except for maybe Goodfellas, that they have to have like the romantic part of it.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't. You don't need that.
What about Karen?
Karen.
His wife.
In what?
In Goodfellas.
Yeah, but she really like
they would have found
Yeah. No, she's.
But it wasn't like,
like a
oh,
famous
I hope
scene.
they stay together. Oh, you know,
because she was annoying.
no, I know, but like, you know what I
flushed
mean.
the
Like,
drugs down the toilet.
there
What is
wasn't
she doing?
there wasn't the romantic element of the
Swallow it, dude.
movie.
But that
Right.
was also different because it was based on.
It was a
his
true
life.
story. Yeah. Sam in Baltimore writes in, longtime listener, first time emailer. I'll hang up and listen. I know there's been a lot of talk about our potential interest in Maxx Crosby, with Brady seemingly trying to distance himself from the Patriots to try to display objectiveness. Is there a chance that there's a bit of a tax for the Patriots when acquiring Raiders players? I could see him trying to ensure that any of his trades with the Patriots are not seen as a fleece or him trying to help out his former team to the public. I might be overthinking this one, but I wouldn't count it out with his recent public comments.
I don't think you're overthinking it, but I don't know the answer. Like
No, I think there's
a
a chance he won't trade him to the Patriots.
I think
period.
there's a chance. Yeah.
Or be extra hard on the Patriots.
Yeah, I think there's a chance of that.
Yeah, so I think there is some validity to that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but I imagine it could be.
Yeah.
I do like how you try to make yourself feel better. He's displaying the objectivity, or maybe he just doesn't like you the way you like him.
Right. Meanwhile, he's the voiceover for the 49ers documentary. Like if you're a Raiders fan, do you like that? Because he's talking about how like he loved the 49ers and all that.
He owns
stuff.
like 3% of the team.
I know.
But not just
but
you.
he's
like,
supposed to be
everybody's
very
supposed-
involved in their decisions.
He's supposedly in charge.
Right.
Maybe.
Regardless of how much he owns.
I would like to, know, like if you call the
Irregardless.
Raiders.
Irregardless,
Who
T.
picks up
That was
the
a
phone?
big,
like a
that was a big
leverage thing.
Polly Walnuts
Like-
on The Sopranos. Irregardless, T.
Yeah.
Hey, Bear, Joe and Brian Hackett. From Wings.
K-Bear. Yeah. Connor from
They
Gansett.
can't see it, Paul.
I know you guys are tired of hearing this, but just curious if you've heard anything about new home and away jerseys for next season. I don't think so, right?
Evidently, someone on the panel has.
Oh, really?
No, I was sighing like
Oh.
out of like, ugh.
You sounded like you had some information there that you were suppressing.
I wouldn't do that to Fred.
Okay.
I wouldn't put him in that
I think
situation.
like in order to have new jerseys, you
We
have
were
to
good again in the
you
blueberries.
have to have like
Do
a
we like them
4-year
now?
run up on it. Like you have to submit it 4 years in advance or
They're
something
cool
like
under
that.
the lights. The blue on blue is cool under the lights.
The all white was pretty sweet too.
Oh no, those are perfect. But
Perfect.
they were. Those are clean.
They're good.
Did you
I'm
pick
a
them
big
out?
all white fan.
They're ice out.
Those are nice.
They're nice.
I think the blue on blue is a good look though. The blue on blue in Buffalo is perfect. I mean, that was in
Not a
Buffalo.
blue. I'm not a
100%.
I'm not a one tone kind of guy.
No, but I thought it looked great. It was very appealing to
They
the
look like
watcher's
blueberries.
eye.
Like
I
Willy
don't know,
Wonka.
man. I'm just saying how I feel. Isn't that what it's about?
Well, I mean, you're taking like this is for visual. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So,
like
I'll take your
visually,
word for it on that.
the
I'm
blue
not-
on
that's
blue
not my-
versus the white on white uniforms of Buffalo was a very
that's not my area.
eye-appealing
of
game.
expertise, So I'll leave that up to you guys.
Fair enough.
I don't.
Dave in the Philippines says, when I came home after graduating from college, my mom said, you got 4 weeks to find someplace else to live, then I'll start charging you rent. I was moved out in 3 weeks, never regretted it for a minute. I did have a job already, so it wasn't that painful.
I don't really get that.
It's a cultural
You don't
thing.
get
I
what?
Think.
Like, I think that it's, and I also think it's maybe different now because it is really hard in your 20s.
Yeah.
To support yourself.
Yeah,
With
it
the-
is.
the
I
way-
think it's getting worse and worse too.
It is.
Yeah.
For that.
But a lot of you people, you don't want roommates. I had 5 roommates when I lived in Boston.
Yeah, but
I'll
like
take
I don't
roommates.
really.
It's still so expensive.
I think that, and I'm not like trying to pick on the emailer's parents, but like when you do that, and nowadays to your kids, like the financial burden that you're putting on your kid could be like catastrophic, like long term. And my parents did not do this, so it's not coming from a place of that. But like, nowadays it's really, really hard to live on your own in your 20s.
I think here's the deal.
Especially in the Northeast.
I think
Yeah.
if
It's
you
impossible.
if you paid for your kids' education so that they don't have any school loans, they have to move out. But if they have school loans because you didn't pay for it, then you should give them a break.
No, what if it's a little of both?
Give them a little break,
but like
not a big break.
But wouldn't, as a parent, I'm not a parent yet,
It's
so
such
I
a
don't know.
cultural
But wouldn't,
thing, I
as a
feel like.
parent, wouldn't you want not to watch your kid go into debt trying to support themselves on their own
That
versus
was-
living at
That was my parents.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like, because nowadays you really could.
But a lot of parents,
if you-
when you get to that point, you're tapped out. Like I can't afford you to live here anymore. I can't.
Yeah, but paying rent to
Maybe.
your parents
That's
and
fair.
helping
not
out
all
with
parents
utilities.
are well off when their
That's
kids
totally
graduate
fair.
college. Like they've tapped themselves out for the kid. Now it's like you gotta go. I
So,
can't
but what if
afford
it's
you.
a win-win? You're paying me rent. The rent is cheaper than you would be in Southie or in Milford or wherever you're going to go live. You're giving me some money too.
So then, like if you're contributing, then okay.
Shout out Milford.
Yeah.
I just think
I
that
just random M town. Like,
It's my town, my hometown.
I just think that it's really, really hard, like, to be self-sufficient in your 20s, especially in the Northeast right now, in the way the housing market is.
It's
hard.
I don't know how
What
these
else is
kids. I don't know how you kids do it.
Like once you get a certain age too. So let's just say you're out of college. So what? 22, 23.
Well, unless you're me, it's like 25.
But how
26.
you have to find yourself, Fred.
So like,
You have to find yourself.
but how much more? If like Will is done with college and he comes back and he lives at home, which he probably will for at least a short time. How much more is that costing me? It's costing me more in food, obviously, but what else?
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to be paying his insurance forever.
I feel like me freshly out of the house, like literally 2 months out. I
It's
feel
literally
like,
a very good perspective.
yeah,
on
this
it.
this is. I feel like I'm
gonna get a
I can
Pepsi while I
speak to
listen
this
to
one. I just feel like my parents always push out. Well, eventually, like you're gonna pay rent, but it was mostly if I was being annoying or whatever, and that was kind of more that line of like when that threat would come. But as long as like someone's kind of showing support and doing stuff around the house and being there and like helping out and not just being I'm
Yeah,
just
you
gonna
have
take
to
over
help
your
out.
place and
Right, you're
I'm
not
living
fair.
independently in your house. Like no.
Right.
You're still under your parents' roof
Right,
and
you're part
treat
of
your
this
parents'
family.
roof
Yeah.
with respect.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I think that's what it really boiled down to. But now I'm out. So
I think it's a
this-
cultural thing too, because I think European families, it's so normal that like the family unit is so together.
That
like I'm
certainly
like
is
an
the case for
Italian,
me. Yeah.
Portuguese families,
Yeah.
whatever it may be. Even like my friend is one of my best friends, Guatemalan, same thing. Like they'll pile 8-10 people under one roof, and it's great. Your whole family's there.
If
and
it
it's
was
just,
up to my mother, that's what we would do. All of us would be living under one roof together, and I'd
go
like,
back
Ma,
to your-
no.
make it easy.
Your lottery thing. Your
Make it
solution was
easy.
just hit the lottery.
Right.
My father always said,
Yeah.
he's going to hit the Powerball and buy a cul-de-sac.
my dream
So
is
we'd
to have like
there
a
you go.
compound.
Me
How
and Beth
awesome
would
would a
live
family
here.
compound
My brother
be?
would
You
live
just got
here. My
family
sister.
everywhere.
That's my dream. A garden in the middle, a little basketball court. Like
You want the
everyone-
Kennedy
I know a
compound.
few
I
people
want-
that want that.
Who doesn't want the Kennedy
I know a few
compound?
people
I
that
wasn't
want that.
aiming as high as Hyannisport, but yes, I will take that.
Yeah. Right. That's great.
But yeah, that's my perspective, guys.
Thanks.
Glad I
Thanks
could
for sharing
glad
that,
I could
Chris.
provide it.
Yeah.
That was good.
All
I like
right.
that conversation.
Went from the NFL to moving out of his house just like
I'm gonna
that.
have a text from my
Tough,
mom
man.
after.
It's
Honey,
tough
do you
out
need
there
to
in
move
the
back in?
All right.
Shit's expensive.
Look who it is.
Yeah. Look who it is. It's Christian in L.A. We need a theme song for him.
Yeah, and I'm looking at you, Paul, today.
Oh,
okay.
Before I come at you, Paul, let me just find some solidarity with my boy Eldridge. Hey, Eldridge, what are you going to do with these keyboard warriors that want to be radio famous by coming after the the old dogs here or the regulars? And I just got to say this to the guys that are coming after me, and this is for you too, Paul. You winners, don't hate wealth. Elevate yourself. Get a second job. Get a hobby. Do something else.
I have like 3 jobs. Ask
The
Fred.
fact that I can afford to pay for my kids' college has nothing to do with me being a winner or a loser. I'm here as a Patriots fan. So everyone out there that wants to come after Christian in LA because I happen to have some money,
Okay.
elevate yourself.
I thought this was about me.
There you go.
No,
That's
no.
not
Good.
Christian,
Good,
do you want to
Christian.
sponsor
I like
Paul?
how you mentioned yourself in the third person, too.
I think it's more like,
Well,
maybe
Paul.
don't brag about having money all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Christian,
My
you should
dad always
sponsor
used to
Paul
say,
if you're a real
Christian,
fan.
my dad always used to tell me,
actually heard me brag about having money. You guys have heard me mention things, and I said, yeah, I can afford to do that. But you never actually had me brag about having money.
Well, a little bit, just a little bit.
I'm just teasing you, Christian.
My dad used to always say less than you know and show less than you have.
Oh,
well, I'm coming out.
Words to live by.
Paul goes, oh yeah, that's harsh, but I don't necessarily disagree with it. Oh, all right, thank you, Paul.
What did you say?
He was kidding, Christian.
What did he say?
Having money doesn't make you a winner. It makes you a loser. And Paul goes, oh yeah, that was harsh, but I don't necessarily disagree with it. All right, buddy. This is for you.
I don't really understand what I'm disagreeing with.
The emailer. When the email that I read.
Oh, I get you now. Okay, yeah. No, that was being snarky.
You were also, I think, just agreeing generally, not necessarily about Christian.
No, I was taking a shot at Christian. Like he does at me all the time. Like it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. For you, father.
It's a bit.
All I want to know, Christians, when am I going to get a little taste of this?
I just said, Christian, you should sponsor Paul.
Yeah, like pick us up in your jet and take us somewhere.
Is the Tesla a Tesla plaid?
You could pick Fred up. I have no interest.
If you next year, right? Next year when the Super Bowl is in LA, I invite you guys. I literally do live in a $50 million mansion. You guys could please come out.
Glad you never brag about it.
You guys, please come out.
All right.
Christian, I'm coming to Italy, not LA.
There it is.
Okay. I love it.
Fred will enjoy the invite.
I'm up for some mansion vacation.
I'm there. Me and Fred are there.
If you have a pool, I'm in.
If you don't believe me, I'm very free to send you pictures.
Christian, send me pictures for the
believe you.
newsletter.
Why
Send me
wouldn't I believe
pictures
you?
of your Italian villa as well.
You get some different kind of wealth on that West Coast, man.
Yeah.
Like you go to some of those houses that.
Oh yeah.
Up in the hills and stuff like that. It's like, wow, this is
I mean,
different.
a 2-bedroom ranch now is like $2 million in the Bay Area. It's ridiculous.
You don't get much, right? You don't get much out here. But however, on to football, and forget the lifestyles of the Chris and famous. I really want us to make a splash on edge. The reason why I say that is because this is known as a really deep edge class, right?
Yeah.
So it feels like we can package a few of our trades and try to move up and grab an early edge guy that gives us the ability then to sit back in free agency and make a big splash on a wide receiver. Because to me, the thing that we're really missing is a really, really crafty edge guy, obviously a great wide receiver, a rangy linebacker. And I hate to say this, but 7 out of 8 people have us drafting an outside tackle. I've been watching the mock drafts, and they all keep going up, keep putting up offensive tackles. So I'm not the only one saying it. They must know something else too about what they think we should do. But anyway, hey, I love you guys, and I love this show, and I love Patriots Nation. So let's keep it rolling, and have a good day.
All right, thanks, Christian.
I have seen mock drafts with tackles, and I don't quite really understand why. Tackle certainly is a need maybe on day 2 of the draft.
I think like if you're at 31 and you think there's a blue chip tackle, I don't care left or right, I would take him.
Well, there is none. Like you don't
All
get
right.
blue chip tackles at 31.
Right.
But like I just don't. I don't know. Like right tackle is a long-term need. Like Morgan Moses is obviously not getting any younger, and they need
If long term is after next year, then okay.
Yeah, but it's not a 2026 need
No. Okay.
on either side, I would say, because they're going to live or die with Campbell at left tackle for 26 and hope that he develops. So.
Okay. Mo in Vermont and New York, from a parent whose kid just got back from college, I just have to say, when he graduated, we went back to the lives we left behind the day he was born. We bought a Class A camper, and we are rarely ever home. We are off traveling and living life. We shut everything off because even if he had 5 people move in with him, he wouldn't be able to afford it. Make your own life and decisions. You are your own person. So we'll end it there. So, you kids, make your own life.
Danny forgot something. You want to see what he forgot?
We already talked to Danny in Tampa.
Yeah, you said, but he forgot one thing.
All right, he forgot one thing. All right, quickly, Danny.
Hey, guys, I forgot to mention one thing. Sorry to bother y'all. This is actually for Evan. The bone I forgot to mention.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to hear it.
You mentioned the tight end situation. So I have an issue how we can fix the tight ends. Like I said, I'm from the Tampa area. Cade Otton is available. He's a very durable tight end. He's not the greatest, obviously, catching the ball. So what you do if you're the Patriots If I'm Elliott Wolf or Ryan Cotton, you bring in Isaiah Likely from the Ravens, and you bring in K-Dog, who is a freaking do-it-all tight end. He was rated 70 in PFF's grade for as a versatile tight end. And then you also take Caleb LeMou, which is the Patriots are projected to take the draft. Caleb LeMou, he was a top-tier plug-and-play guy. The scouts are saying it from college football from Utah. So that's what I would do if I'm Elliott Wolf or Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taking notes?
I watched him the other day, the Utah tackle.
You didn't love him.
Thanks, Danny.
Not my type of thing.
Well,
Yeah.
All right.
Not your type.
Ev down on the.
Heavy
There are
feet,
2 Utah
and
tackles, right?
Goes tall. Yeah.
Tall? It's not bad.
Aren't there
No,
2?
high pads. You know,
High pad?
High pad level, Freddie.
like-
Remember Marcus Hill, rest in peace?
Marquise
Hill. He had like the longest legs, so that when he was in his 3-point stance, he was like this. His ass was up here and his head was down there because his legs were so tall. It was weird.
I talked to Seabass about this, about Nate Solder.
Yeah.
And he said that he actually thought Nate Solder was a little too tall.
Yeah,
Because
he was
couldn't-
6'8".
Because he couldn't get down in his stance, and his leverage was always a struggle. That he was always fighting his height in a bad way.
Yeah.
Most of the time you want the guys to be as big as possible, but
Yeah. All right. That's going to be it for this edition of Patriots Unfiltered. Everyone have a good weekend, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Hey, this is Matisse. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you really want to help us, make sure you like us wherever you get your podcasts, like Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, make sure to follow us on the New England Patriots YouTube channel to see this show and everything else here that we do at the Patriots. Thanks a lot.